players will wear with the word Al. McCoy died September 21st at 91. Cardinals coaches are back at the facility to evaluate game film from yesterday's loss to the Commanders. Players are receiving treatment to start recovery for Week 5 against the 49ers. The D-backs are at the ballpark with their bags packed, watching the Mets-Braves doubleheader. That will determine if they'll go to Milwaukee for the playoffs or are going home for the winter. Sun Devil hockey hits the ice in 4 days for their season opener against Air Force on the road. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword GRAND at foxsports910.com. That's GRAND at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Monday, look for another hot day out there with temperatures well above those seasonal averages. 108 degrees is where we're headed with mostly sunny skies. For tonight, mostly clear with those overnight lows in the low 80s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast Burrito. Wendy's Breakfast Burrito is everything you want for breakfast. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, bacon or sausage, all rolled up into one warm tortilla. Want the boss of breakfast burritos? Gotta be Wendy's. At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for
You guys are live
with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Got a little bit of a echo here, which I need to try to figure out. Jazz, as we're getting started here, you hear the echo as we are? Yes or no, Jazz?
You are fine. You sound good.
Okay. All right, we're hearing echo.
Hear a little echo, guys. We'll get through this first one. We'll try to adjust that bad boy.
All right, we're out here. This is tough. Can we? It's going to go to break, and we'll start over. We got to get this.
We'll reboot. Go to break. We'll reboot.
Go to break, Jazz.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 with Coach Charlie Regal. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
You may not have any experience. All right. Nope, still doing it. All right, we'll try again. All right, go to break.
Run a break, Jazz.
And lost wages are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner & Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered
All right, be right back.
for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check?
977-1900. Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Dreaming of a stunning putting green or perfect lawn? With Tempe Turf Installers, it's a reality, starting at just $550 per square.
Crafted boots are an invitation into the continuing story of the West. open to all who dream of untamed lands and endless western skies. Justin Boots,
Hey guys,
Boot Barn.
Darren's here and everything looks fine on this side.
All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe."
Is it still echoing now?
We're pretty good.
yeah.
Might have to start a band.
Huh, okay. We'll see what happens here again.
Team from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Let's get to today's lifted high garage door repair top players from the weekend on Fox Sports 910. The guys give you their top performers who lifted their team to victory. Now, guys, who are your lifted high garage door top players from the weekend?
All right, Roc and Manuch with you. Here, Darren. Sorry, we are still having technical issues here. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Get a little echo thing going on there. Yep.
Can we go back to break?
Let's do it. Yep. Good break, guys. Yeah, Darren, we got an echo coming back.
Really bad.
Behold.
Yeah, we've everything's connected properly. We never had that
on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Cliff Kingsbury returns to the desert Sunday as the Commanders' offensive coordinator. Washington meeting the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, though, says don't overlook the Washington defense.
They're playing really good football as a unit, as a team.
So it's got to be
doing, play
coming
hard,
from the studio.
Very physical team. A lot of veterans.
Darren's even doing it
mixed in
during
with a couple,
the
young guys. We definitely have a challenge this week.
Sunday here on Fox Sports 910, we'll have the Broncos and Jets, the pregame at 9:30. The Diamondbacks host the Padres with Merrill Kelly on the mound. The Snakes even with the Mets for the last two NL wildcard spots, one clear of the Braves. College ball tomorrow, Arizona calls on Utah. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement.
single day, we have a lot of fun together. And it also decreases screen time, which we all know that battle. Well, my friends, search for me, Mr. Jim, or Kid Short Stories. So
Hey guys, if this happens again, can you switch over to the Unit 1?
Bar in downtown Ocotillo. We are here. We're getting ready for tonight's Monday Night Football, as we got 2 games tonight, so we are going to get into that quite a bit today. This just in, the Mets have won the first game of the doubleheader against the Atlanta Braves. That means they will be heading to the playoffs. So now we wait one more game where the Mets aren't playing for anything, but Atlanta is. So if Atlanta wins that game, then they are in. If the Mets win, the D-backs are in. So, go Mets.
Absolutely.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, let's see how motivated they are in the second game. The Diamondbacks got to be, oh, man. So, yeah, it's just you pretty much made your own bed, Diamondbacks. You had a woeful series. You lose a series to the Padres, who basically smoked you aside from your scoring yesterday. Yeah. But, I mean, it's unfortunate. You got to have the Mets win again in order for you to go to the playoffs.
You look at the Diamondbacks, and we'll get into Cardinal football, of course, but you look at them, and if you think the first 2 months of the season, they were playing under 500. Their bats weren't doing much. The pitching wasn't doing much. Injuries were already starting. I think we got what's the word I want to use? We basically got a free pass to support this team throughout the summer, because they started off so slow. And I think a lot of us said, okay, you're coming off a World Series. Now we can just, sit back and know that this isn't our year. Somebody else will win. Teams don't get to the World Series, man.
I think injuries were the biggest problem
for
this team. There's no question about that.
And then here we get bats that just cooled down.
Yes.
All of a sudden, the bats just significantly just got cold.
Well, the bats were hot while the pitching injuries were there, Jimmy, as you were saying. And so I think that, a game here, a game there, and you think about Erod didn't pitch until basically August. And, the staff, guys were hot, guys were cold. Pretty much for
Jordan Montgomery was never the
he was never the guy. Yeah, you think it, but when they got hot, you're like, damn, there they are. Because in the wild card, they were at 4.5. They were up 4.5 about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
That is correct.
And then all of a sudden, the Mets got hot. Then the Braves got hot.
Yep.
And then it just kind of like, all right, all of a sudden the Diamondbacks are losing the Milwaukee series. They lose this series. They lose that series. And then the starting rotation couldn't make it out of the 4th or the 5th inning.
This is so reminiscent of last year. Remember last year, they snuck in with what happened? Does it happen again this year? If the Mets win this game coming up, the Braves are out, Diamondbacks are in, and once again, the D-backs have snuck in.
Diamondbacks over there working out and watching everything, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure they've already had their morning workout going, okay, now the Mets are going to be cheering for the Mets. Come back in and just kind of hang out, watch out, just hope that there's some kind of miracle Mets again, circa 1969. I mean, they're in, though. So you're right, Rock. What's their motivation? I think they still want to play hard and play it out. But now the Braves are in that situation where it's you got to win it. You got to win it or you go home in Atlanta. So on top of everything else, I think the crowd will be fired up. I wonder how many more people will be coming streaming in. It's kind of a sparse crowd in Atlanta right now for this game.
Well, what happened is that they didn't really have a chance to get there because people are working, and so they figured, okay, they'll get for the second game.
And there was a thed of rain this morning as well.
It was raining.
Could you imagine if they had to postpone again, or they would just wait until midnight to play this game? And you imagine the Diamondbacks over there at the clubhouse going, okay, anytime now. So this will be a lot of folks over at the Diamondbacks complex of the ball club on pins and needles to hopefully see if the Mets can win game number 2.
So a great weekend of sports. As college football was tremendous on Saturday. Some great games. The Alabama-Georgia game was outstanding. Arizona upsetting Utah. We're going to dive into all of that this afternoon. Of course, the D-backs we talked about, but the Cardinals just getting crushed yesterday. And some may say it's an embarrassment. I don't know if I'll go that far, but this team right now is, in my opinion, the same old Cardinals. They've kind of gone back. And when you got a team like Washington coming into this game on a short week, playing on the road on Monday night, you got a rookie quarterback, you got a defense that's ranked in the bottom 5 in points allowed, takeaways per game, yards allowed per game, passing yards. I go on and on. The Cardinals were playing their 3rd straight home game. That does not happen much in the National Football League. And they had an opportunity to show their former head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, that, hey, we're glad you're not here. We're a better team. But now the team is 1-3. Their next 4 games are tough. They got 3 on the road. This week it's San Francisco. Then it's Green Bay and Miami on the road. And we'll kind of sandwich in the Chargers in there. But overall, it's just a bad performance. They couldn't move the ball. Defense had nothing to stop Kingsbury. And here we are. They just ran it down our throats, ours being the Arizona Cardinal fans. But Jalen Daniels looks outstanding.
Yeah, he does.
MVP.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
we
poised.
can stop with the Kyler Murray MVP
he
stuff.
is the C.J. Stroud
of
this year.
You watch Cliff's offenses, and we watched that Cincinnati game, and imagine that Cliff incorporating a balance of running game and passing game. And we talked about that when he was here at Rock. He needs to add more running or more variety to not rely on so much of the air raid or spread offense.
2 minutes.
And he has. And I think the receiver core he has and the offensive line, and with Robinson blocking, I think that's really not that it's 50-50, but it's more like that. And the way he utilizes Jalen Daniels is very impressive as well, too. I think it's almost like he utilizes him more than he did with Kyler Murray. So I think he learned a lot of valuable lessons those 4 years here with the Arizona Cardinals and dealing with Murray and getting infatuated with his air raid offense. Well, now he's kind of backed it off. And so I've got to run in the NFL. I've got to go play action. And I got to use my quarterback, my rookie quarterback, wisely and play to his strengths and not give him too much.
Manuch, I have a question that only you can answer because you played the game and you have been in the locker room. So everybody is up in arms, and rightfully so, on Pensing, the offensive coordinator, on Gannon, the head coach, and on Kyler Murray.
Throw in Monty as well.
I'll throw in Monty Awesome for it. Yes, I'll do that as well. But my question is, why are people blaming them and not talking about the players on the field who did not perform worth a damn?
I think it's a combination of all the above, Jimmy. It really is. I mean, Pensing's offense, they start off fast and they fade. You don't see them. I call it it's a fair weather offense. They start strong, then you don't see them for three quarters. Then you might get an extra drive. Drew Pensing, I am very unimpressed with the way he's handling the adjustments and play calling against that team. Again, 4 sacks on Kyler Murray. Watching that game, what were they as far as third down conversions were concerned? Again, the last 2 games, this team is only 5 for 20 as far as third down conversions. Wow. So then you look at the time of possession. Well, obviously, you had 33 minutes to last week's 36 minutes by the opponent, the Lions and the Commanders. So now what you're seeing is that defense is on the field a long time because of the lack of sustained drive. That's a combination of both. But as far as creativity and relying too much on the running game and not balancing out like you saw Cliff Kingsbury balance out the Commanders' offense is what this team did. They finally like, okay, we're going to pound. We're going to give you the yardage, but we're going to get all over Kyler Murray. And then they bracketed the receiving core, and then a couple drops by Michael Wilson didn't help either. But they got so far in front, there was no answer. So I'm not seeing an answer from Drew Petzing on the offensive side. And for Wallace on the defensive side, I'm seeing no answers.
What about
and
the
adjustments.
players, though? The players are on the field.
I get it. And I think on top of that, they have to make the adjustment. You got to put them in the right position for them to make plays. But to your point, a lot of missed tackles, drop balls, and a lot of missed assignments on the offensive line.
Hey, are you seeing any progress in the Cardinals team under second-year head coach Jonathan Gannon? That's a question for our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. Just go to our Twitter page, X page at Roc and Manuch, and vote. No, yes, or it's still too early. Get on and vote now. We are out here at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo tonight for the second game. 20 lucky contestants will have a chance to roll the jumbo dice to win the grand prize, $9,100. You also can roll our faces or the Fox Sports 910 logo, and you can win a big screen TV, plus a lot of great prizes from the Trophy Bar. So we're going to have some fun today here at our new home on Monday. So we'll step aside, take a quick one. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Hello.
Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a minute, and we go to the sounds.
To
Yes?
listen to Kids Short Stories. You see kids all around the world listen to Kids Short Stories.
The commercials, I'm cutting them short, so you go through all your
I
segments.
create a brand new story about them finding treasure, stopping the bad guy, or flying on a unicorn. If you're looking to cut down on screen time, search for Mr. Jim. So listen to Kid Short Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
At Boot Barn, we're driven by everything the cowboy boot stands for. The reliable communities of the West, the hardened values of the cowboy, and the unshakable spirit of all who lead a tenacious lifestyle. Justin Boots capture these Western ideals in every pair. Their handcrafted boots are an invitation into the continuing story of the West, open to all who dream of untamed lands and endless Western skies. Justin Boots at Boot Barn.
Let's get to today's Lifted High Garage Door Repair top players from the weekend on Fox Sports 910. The guys give you their top performers who lifted their team to victory. Now, guys, who are your Lifted High Garage Door top players from the weekend?
All right, you could probably question the order here, but that's all right. We're just going to fire off our top five sounds from the weekend. This one hurt probably the most for Cardinal fans, as Dan Quinn gave Cliff Kingsbury the game ball after beating the Cardinals yesterday. Here's the sound from the locker room after the game.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The countdown is on. The number
5.
What's up, Phelps? A couple things we said last night, man. We said it's great when you count on others, they count on you. That way, victory is produced by everybody, all right? And that's what tonight was, man. Fast, physical. We said anybody, anywhere, any motherfucking time, all right? So we did what we came to do, all right? So there'll be a number of game balls that will be issuing out, I'm sure, tomorrow. But there's one motherfucker that ain't leaving this city without one. Cliff!
You know, it's pretty cool to see all these grown men acting like they're in a college locker room. I thought it was pretty cool. That was pretty loud.
Pee-wee football.
That was so loud. I mean, they were really into it.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. Let's talk about kickers in the National Football League. It seemed to be the story of the first quarter of the season. And here is Atlanta's kicker who, I can't tell you how many he had. I think he just hit another one just now.
The number
4.
Younghoe Koo from 58. It is good. The longest field goal of Younghoe Koo's 7-year NFL career. Nice snap, nice hold. Beautiful kick by Younghoe Koo.
Kicks a 58-yard field goal with 2 seconds remaining as Atlanta rallies to beat the Saints. He had 4 field goals. He also connected on a 53, a 44, and a 42 to give the Falcons a desperate home win. A lot of great college football. Of course, Georgia and Alabama was the game on Saturday, the game to watch. And here is Ryan Williams' 75-yard passing TD.
The number
3. A man from Milrow at the start of this game. He's got to have it right now. And they take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Ryan Williams. Still spinning free. Touchdown, Alabama. They answer in one play. 75 yards for the 17-year-old. Are you kidding?
Biggest game of the season so far, and it delivered, at least not at first, when Alabama was up 28-0 at one point, but you got to give the Bulldogs a lot of credit. They did come back, and they made it somewhat of a game, but Alabama ruled in this one, and now they're number one in the country.
How about that 2 true freshmen? Williams there. That's one of the greatest plays I think I've seen in college football.
He's 17 years old.
He came back where I made the catch. He kind of like contorts it. I don't know if that ball was thrown inside, the backside. It slipped, made the play, and then the double move he made to go down the sideline. And then Brown, the true freshman out of modern-day high school in California, to get that pick at the very end of the game just shows you how talented they are. But talk about, you're right, the Georgia comeback, they get back, and then Beck has a chance one more time. But that pick at the end of the game, 2 real, truly 17-year-old freshmen getting it done in a big game like that.
A little bit later in our good, bad, and the ugly from the weekend, we are going to talk a little bit more about Ryan Williams. A lot of controversy with his eye black, where he had the kill everybody reference, which really turned some heads. So we'll dive into that a little bit later. Here's Ketel Marte and his 2-run homer yesterday, which was his 36th of the season.
The number
2.
Level, left field, goodbye. Stinks alive. 443 feet. The 36 for Ketel Marte. And the Diamondbacks have busted this thing wide open with a 6-run fourth. Oh, man. Belt high, middle of the plate. That's his 18th home run against a left-hand pitcher.
3.
The major leagues.
Well, if you're just joining us, the Mets did win the first of the doubleheader against Atlanta. So now they need to win the second game to have the D-backs in the playoffs. If Atlanta wins, then they are in. So they are playing for something. The Mets aren't playing for anything. Maybe pride if they or maybe some bonuses or what have you in regards to
Good point. There's some bonuses.
I don't know.
Sprinkled into those contracts.
I just wonder how much celebration is taking place in the locker room right now.
Yeah, like they really want to, go play a baseball game right now in a half hour or whatever it is. All right, let's get to the last one on Friday night. Number 7, Miami overcame a late scare, held off Virginia Tech, and it came down to this one final play.
The number
1.
The game is not over. Teams back to the benches. Coaches, please back to the benches.
A fitting ending, a chaotic ending.
Remember,
this football game.
The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
It was a touchdown.
I'm not seeing the ball. And it looked as though.
So that means there is nothing to overturn the call. Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules expert. Matt, we didn't expect to have the final play in question. Touchdown, not a touchdown. It matters.
They're saying Felton came up with this.
Well,
and he's in bounds, Matt.
Now, did he survive? Did he survive the ground there? The ball pops out at the very end.
Yeah, what they've got to determine is
on the field, full control of the receiver. After further review, the ruling on the field is reversed. It's an incomplete pass.
How big was that for the fan base to overturn the call following the review of that Hail Mary?
Yeah, well, you would never know unless they had like 25 different angles
They
of that ball coming loose at the very end. I mean, that was, obviously I thought it was the right call, but my goodness, I mean, to come down to the very end, like they should have never come down to that. But what a great game that was, like a lot of great college games, a few upsets in there. But we're starting to see, I think, 4, 5, 6 games in, guys. I think offenses and defenses starting to settle in and starting to improve and starting to get their land legs together that they can compete in some of these big games.
We are coming to you live from the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo. They have killer happy hour specials. They have 30 4K TVs, a 16-foot video wall, great music, cool cars, a great place. They host a bunch of coaches shows here for Arizona State, as well as they do some work with the Arizona Cardinals. We are glad to be here. It's our new home on Monday nights. So we encourage you to come on down and win $9,100 and some other prizes for rolling the jumbo dice. But coming up next, it's former Sun Devil NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter get his thoughts on the Cardinals' loss to the Commanders. This is Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, right here on Fox Sports 910.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
The only place you're going to find 3 10-foot screens with games on full volume in
I
3
know
separate
Rudy called,
rooms,
but I'm going
all
to
in
call
the same
him
bar.
so we're not
Dukes
late,
on
okay?
Miller and McDowell. With dozens more big screens. You'll find every game you're looking for only at Dukes, because there's only one Dukes. Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, darts, karaoke and trivia nights. 3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where? Dukes! Where? Dukes! Miller and McDowell! Scottsdale!
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. Connecticut Sun guard Dejanay Carrington has won the WNBA's Most Improved Player Award, receiving 28 of 67 votes from a national media panel. In her 4th season in the league, the Sun guard averaged career highs of 12.7 points, 5 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and 1.6 steals, and had a career-high 25 games with 10 or more points. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
Here to talk football is former
Rudy's
Sun
ready.
Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Guys, you're live.
Steps up, looks end zone, got a man, McGahee, touchdown.
Hello, guys, are you live?
Threw that right into the teeth.
Yes, he's here.
The Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports
You're live?
910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
Rudy Carpenter now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Rudy, you think it's safe to say we can stop with the Kyler Murray MVP talk at this point? Because there was some talk of that maybe early on this season with that perfect rating that 1 week. But where do you think he is right now?
I mean, I never one time said that Kyler Murray was going to be in the race for the MVP trophy. And unfortunately, I feel like every time I come on the radio or any other appearances that I do talking about the Cardinals, I feel like it's really a broken record in the sense that I think Kyler is a good – Kyler Murray could be a great football player. But again, I just don't think that he's ever going to be able to achieve that status or reach his full potential with the cast of characters that he has around him. In order for him to reach his full potential, he needs more. And I think a really, really good example of that is the quote-unquote resurgence from Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold has always been a good player. I think there was a reason why Sam Darnold was the 3rd overall pick in the draft. But the truth of the matter is Sam Darnold, throughout his entire time playing so far in the NFL, hasn't been on a team where he's had enough guys around him to be the player that he can be. And he finally has that. And he's in an organization that can support him, and it's like magic.
You know, Rudy, and we had talked about if he is going to be successful at being Kyler Murray, he needs all hands on deck. He needs the offensive line healthy. They're a little banged up. But the one thing I don't see from this offense, even when I don't see rhythm and tempo. I mean, they're 5 for 20 last 2 games in third down conversions. They have a good drive and they don't. I don't see the consistency or rhythm and tempo that I would think I'd see after 4 or 5 games, with this team. Now you look at him and after 4 games, I don't know if you see it or you don't see it, or maybe that is because he doesn't have the horses around him.
Well, not only that, but again, I would ask you the same question that I asked last week, right before we hung up. What is the identity of this football team?
Exactly.
Last night's a great example. When you watch the Baltimore Ravens play football, you know what the identity of the Baltimore Ravens is going to be. When you watch the Kansas City Chiefs play football, you know what their identity is going to be and who they are. When you watch the Arizona Cardinals play football, we don't know what they are. We don't know who they want to be. I don't think that they do. I think that they put a game plan together every week. I think their coach really hard to put them in a position to succeed. And I think their coaches try to find ways to create the best matchups that they can create with the guys that they have. And then it comes down to whether or not those guys can win. Can our offensive linemen block these guys on the defensive side? Can our tight ends get open against these guys? Can our wide receivers, not only get open, but can they win the one-on-one 50-50 contested balls when they're thrown their way? And, I mean, look, think about this. Just think about the Alabama-Georgia game this weekend. It wasn't like there was any complex things going on. You know what you saw a lot of? You saw a lot of wide receivers making great plays with one-on-one contested catches on both teams. And at the end, you saw Brian Williams make a great catch, make two guys miss, run down for a touchdown. And then you saw their defensive back turn around and make a great interception that was one-on-one. That has nothing to do with scheme and everything to do with those players. The Arizona Cardinals, they don't have those guys outside of Marvin Harrison, and they can't consistently win those matchups, which is why what you said earlier happens, which is why they're so inconsistent. Sometimes they look good, sometimes they don't.
Rudy Carpenter's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, are we looking now at Jaden Daniels the same way that we started to look at C.J. Stroud last year in his rookie season for Houston? Is Daniels, in your estimation, that good, that quick?
I mean, he's been playing really good, right? And one of the things I have to give, the Washington Commanders and give that coaching staff a lot of credit for is they're doing their very best to run an offensive scheme that fits Jaden Daniels and fits what Jaden can do. Again, I think the Cardinals had the right idea with Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray in the sense of, hey, we're gonna draft a quarterback, and then we're gonna have a coach come in here and run a scheme that this quarterback likes and that he's comfortable with and that fits him. And then all of a sudden they go, Ozzie Monty as their GM and Gannon as the head coach, and they went right back to the old school way that all the other NFL teams have been doing for decades, which is, we're going to go hire the coach that we want, and he's going to run the scheme that he wants, and we're not gonna dial up a scheme that's specifically made for Kyler. Whereas you look at the Commanders, and that's what they did. They knew they were going to draft a guy like Jaden Daniels, so the idea was to go hire an offensive coach that was going to be able to put that quarterback in the absolute best position to succeed. That's why the week before, with the Bengals or whoever they played, you had heard the Bengals saying, oh, this is a high school college offense. They don't do anything spectacular. They don't need to. They don't need to. They call concepts that Jaden Daniels likes. They call concepts that he can execute. They call concepts that he understands. And when they don't work out, they trust him to make a play with his feet. And that's what he does. And then when nothing is there, he gets down or he throws the ball away. And that's when he plays like that, they don't need him to do much more than that.
And I think even with that, Rudy, the adjustments on the defensive side could not adjust to Cliff Kingsbury's play calling. I agree with you. I thought he did a great job of playing to the strengths of one Jaden Daniels with all the things. And it wasn't real complicated, but they pounded the ball. They threw for they rushed for over 216 yards, which I think helped that. But I think that it was the throws and the things they did were, call it high school, call it college, were very effective. And on top of that, you had Rollis, the defensive coordinator, could not adjust to it. And they just went up and down the field.
Again, like I said, what the identity of the Commanders is going to be, right? I mean, we know what that's going to be. They make it very simple for Jaden.
3.
And because it's simple, it allows him to play fast. It allows him to play confident. And because he's playing fast and confident, it allows him to be accurate. It allows him to play with great anticipation. It allows him to play with great timing. It allows him to, when he's very accurate, which means the wideouts can now maximize their yards after catch, because they're not having to make circus catches. And then when teams want to, try to mix it up and pressure Jaden or play man-to-man, if he makes one guy miss, he's all of a sudden out the gate running the football. And to me, there aren't many things more demoralizing when you're able to shut a team down and then the quarterback takes off and runs for a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 7, whatever it is, and gets a first down. That's very frustrating. And that's what he's been doing. Jaden's good enough to where if you're going to sit back and try to play zone coverage like they did on that touchdown in the back of the end zone, they just ran a basic double post concept. He's going to be able to read that out, throw an accurate ball. And, that's what happens when, you have an identity and you know what you're trying to get accomplished on the opposite side of the ball.
If this was 5 years ago, would you have expected to see us out of Jaden Daniels? You knew him coming out of high school, and then when he got to ASU, I mean, his growth has been exponentially huge, I think, the last 2 years. But did you see this in this young man, this kind of potential?
I don't know. I no offense. I know that's like a fun, sexy question to answer, and I know these guys like to get up there. Oh, I knew it way back in the day. I saw that when he was 4. It's like, yeah, it sounds good, bud. I mean, look, what I really think is that Jaden and his family did a really good job in the sense that from the moment that he was getting out of high school, they as a family basically said, hey, look, we think this kid has NFL potential. We believe that it's very, very important for us that he is going to develop like an NFL player. And because he took that route and he came and played for NFL coaches and the NFL style, whatever. But what I think really happened is Jaden has played a lot of football. And I think that's really important. He played a lot as a true freshman at ASU and as a sophomore. And then when he left, he went and played in another scheme against really good talent in the SEC at LSU. And so he's played a lot of football, different schemes. He's seen a lot of different defenses. He's played in incredible environments with a lot of pressure. So I think when you're talking about is a guy ready to play for the NFL, but he is a guy that had a lot of experience. And I'm just somebody who thinks that you can practice all you want. You can hire the best quarterback coach in America all you want. You can do as many drills as you want. But in my viewpoint, really the only way you're going to get better playing quarterback is to play quarterback in games. And he's done a lot of that. So I just think that's, one of the main reasons why he's having success.
He's Rudy Carpenter. Rudy, as always, thank you for some time on a Monday. We always appreciate you.
All right, guys.
You got it. Rudy Carpenter joining us, brought to you today by All City Towing. Join the team at the largest towing company in the state. That's All City Towing, and they are hiring. They got dispatcher jobs, call takers, lot attendants, drivers. The list goes on and on. And if you are ready to take your career to the next level, then visit them online at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. Well, coming up, Alabama is the new number 1 in Week 6 AP poll, and the Big Ten and the SEC are talking about possibly a scheduling partnership. We'll tell you what that's all about with Football at 50 next. You'll listen to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from the Trophy Bar in Downtown Ocotillo.
Does your standard amount of bucks not cut it? Time to line your pockets with bonus bucks.
Fat stacks of cash.
Be listening every weekday for your chance to win $1,000.
Oh my God.
Sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey, Arizona, it's your local accident attorney, Kevin Rowe. Results matter, so we want to help you win $1,000. Powered by Lerner and Rowe Accident Attorneys, where we treat you like family. In a wreck, need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today at 977-1900.
Envision a stunning putting green or a flawless lawn. With Tempe Turf Installers, it's yours for just $550 per square foot. Enjoy up to a 16-year warranty and 2 years of labor coverage. Call Mark at 602-348-7190 or visit TempeTurfInstallers.com for your free estimate.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner and Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner and Rowe.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important. You need to consider the law firm's experience, results, and reputation. Lerner Rowe stands above other law firms when it comes to experience and results, helping over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. When it comes to reputation, we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and year after year, we have been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Call us today and let us put our experience, proven results, and reputation to work for you.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hello, parents. It's Mr. Jim, and I want to invite your kids to listen to Kid Short Stories. You see, kids all around the world listen to Kid Short Stories and send in their ideas. And every single day, I create a brand new story about them finding treasure, stopping the bad guy, or flying on a unicorn. If you're looking to cut down on screen time, search for Mr. Jim. So listen to Kid Short Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
You guys are live.
Ready for football!
It's Football at 50. The latest top football story trending this hour. Right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910 and the iHeartRadio app.
All right, out here at the Trophy Bar in Downtown Ocotillo, our home for Monday Night Football. I got a doubleheader tonight. Speaking of doubleheaders, the Mets did take the game one in the doubleheader with the Atlanta Braves. Will go at it here in a little bit, and the outcome will hopefully be a Mets win. If it's a Mets win, that means the D-backs are ready to go for the playoffs tomorrow. Where they go? They would go to
Milwaukee.
Yep.
Milwaukee.
ESPN is reporting that the Big Ten and the SEC athletic directors are discussing a possible partnership in football scheduling and automatic bids.
Of course.
This is just the start of them merging and creating
I would agree.
one super conference.
Yep,
and
I agree.
It's about time. Why not? So they are meeting in Nashville next week, and multiple sources feel that this is going to happen. They're going to get this thing figured out, but still got a long way to go before another round of playoff changes.
Sure.
I expect 16 to 24. I think it's just going to keep going.
It's kind of a quiet way of they're headed that way, but just like, well, hey, we just want to do some non-conference games with you guys. Let's just admit it. We know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
They're trying to merge both of them together, make that super conference, as you said, Rock. And I just kind of I laugh when I see this. Go, okay, it looks like chicken, smells like chicken. Guess what? It's chicken.
It's a duck.
I mean, into the meantime, if it doesn't happen in the next 2 years or 3 years, they'll get the competition they need,
right,
as far as the power rankings are concerned, to have that non-conference schedule with the Big Ten and vice versa. They have to worry about Bangor, Maine State, or this team, or Toledo, or whatever. But hey, some of those MAC schools could be in the thick of it, but they want to make sure
what they're
that
doing,
if they make the top 12, that they have got the right schedule.
Oh yeah,
but they want like 6 teams in there.
Yes,
yeah,
each of them.
Yeah,
They want to eliminate everybody
What is that going
else.
to do for other FBS conferences
Correct.
or Notre Dame?
Yes,
when it comes to that, I mean, because they want to play too.
Sure, I get it, but the first one to the punch, first one to the party is going to get the dance, right? So if they get there and they put this out front, that we better meet, because of what you're saying, Rock, is we want to get our non-conference schedules tightened up with better competition as well too. So a lot of those teams that usually get that big check 4 or 5 years from now, they may be
They're not going to
eliminated.
get it.
No, the Appalachian states of the world may go by the wayside.
Northern Illinois got $1.2 million to play at Notre Dame and then beat Notre Dame. And they haven't won a game since.
So you might see with this 12-team playoff format, a lot of those go away. So they get a better conference schedule with whomever. It's a Big 12, it's SEC, whatever. And just make sure they've got viable competition. The New Mexico States, San Jose States. I mean, if they go to the Pac-12, is that truly viable? Does that satisfy the itch for the guys making the power rankings when you decide who goes in the 12?
So Alabama takes the top spot in the AP poll for the first time since October of 2022, so almost 2 full years ago, as they moved up from the previous number 4 ranking as they held off Georgia in that SEC battle. And then you got Texas number 2, and then Ohio State number 3, followed by Tennessee, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State, Miami, Missouri, and rounding out the top 10 is Michigan. Arizona got some votes, so they are sitting at basically 26, 27, right there with
just
106.
on the outside,
right there.
Yeah,
Guys,
Colorado even got a vote.
Did you have the inkling that Kentucky just, the Ole Miss game? I mean, we talk about Lane Kiffin. Can he withstand an entire season without having a hiccup? Well, look at what Kentucky did the week before.
Yes.
Taking Georgia to the mat.
The week before they beat Ohio U.
I'm talking about Kentucky in the competition.
They played Ohio U the week before.
Oh, okay. But I mean,
I would know. We got beat. We got beat really bad.
Yeah. But I mean,
you're talking about them upsetting number 6 Ole Miss this week, right?
No, I know. But I mean, when you think of the competition that Georgia had the week before.
Oh, Georgia.
Yes, when Georgia took them on, and how Kentucky, could have won that game. But you see this. It went down to the mat, and then that Shankopotamus at the very end of the game.
You got that right.
I mean, to see them drop 6, they fall out of the top 10. Just when you think Lane Kiffin's got the team and he can make that run, he gets upset by Kentucky again.
That's the biggest win since 1977 on the road against the highest
Yes.
ranked team for Kentucky. So good for Kentucky. Penn State, they topped Illinois in their Big Ten opener. Notre Dame took care of Louisville. And we saw USC rally back to take on to beat Wisconsin in their Big Ten debut. And then how about your Wildcats taking down Oklahoma State?
Nice bounce back victory. We bump up 3 to number 20. I was one of those going into Manhattan and getting your mind right, and then taking care of that business. And then there's BYU, the guys that smoked us. They move up 5. So BYU making the statement. My dog goes ahead and takes it as they win that game in Baylor. Come back and win that game.
I got to tell you, I literally posted that I am no longer betting. I got down to $1.42 in my DraftKings, right?
Yeah.
But I rallied.
Okay.
I rallied yesterday, and I literally thought I was going to be hurting. So now I'm at $263.40.
Wow.
So I took $1.42. That's all I had left after all my bets, and now I'm back to like 263.
Wish I could get my investments to do something like that.
Yeah, but I was pissed. I was getting killed because the first game I did well. Second, I did well in the afternoon games.
Oh, okay.
It's the morning games yesterday that I think a lot of people got beat.
Don't bet them.
I mean,
wait till the afternoon.
Well, it's still fun then. What, are you going to just sit there and watch football without betting?
Guys,
Come on.
think about it. The rhyme or reason in the National Football League right now is, okay, who's injured, who's
Parity
not.
is there.
It's huge. I mean, you think of the Falcons. The Falcons win that game yesterday with that 58-yard field goal. They could easily be 4-0 right now.
Easy.
The Atlanta Falcons could easily be 4-0.
Well, it was like Atlanta, it was Washington. Those are teams that people thought weren't going to be any good.
Exactly right.
Where all these Cardinal fans at? And, they may go 1-7.
Oh,
if you
man.
look at their next 4 games.
They could easily do that. I'm surprised.
So when do we start talking about the draft?
Another 2 weeks.
I'm serious.
Yeah, I know.
It's the same old Cardinals. It just gets to the point. When does it get to a point where, as a Cardinal fan, you just get tired of it?
Oh, I think right now I'd be okay. Where's this process that they're talking about? Where's this
over for this front office?
And you look at it, you go, okay, what are they? They're 5-21 now in 2 years under Gannon. I mean, that didn't fly with the guy several years ago when the year they drafted Josh Rosen. I forget the former defensive coordinator, head coach for the Cardinals.
Lasted
1 year.
Lasted 1 year,
In 1 year, and they were woeful. I mean, so you look at this and you see this team basically. They're giving up 26 points per game and only scoring 24. That dog's not going to hunt.
No, it doesn't.
And their run defense, again, one of the worst in the National Football League. And again, guys, we thought that they cured this because we talked about playing hard, right? That team missed a lot of tackles yesterday. I saw Buda Baker miss a lot of tackles. I mean, and then Gardeck missed a lot of tackles. That team, I tell you what, you look at time of possession, 36 minutes last week, Detroit, 33 this week.
Right.
You start to wear that. You keep that up, and you keep losing. You keep your defense on the field, and you're only at 15% or 30% third down conversions. You're going to wear that defense out before this season gets underway.
But as an owner, when you get to the point where, okay, you fire Steve Wilkes with 3 wins, you bring in Kingsbury, and he had a losing record. Then you go with Jonathan Gannon. He wins 4 games last year, right? And he's won 1 this year.
5-21.
When do you get to the point where, okay, you got to make a move again?
I
when
think
do you just go after Belichick and say, "Come on, buddy"?
Well, very tempting, Rock.
I mean,
I don't
think he could get along with.
No, they would never get along.
It's a combination of all the above. I think he's going to last this out, at least for this season, and then I think he might give him one more season so he and Monty can do to improve this team. But we thought the kid if they're healthy, guys, they have a chance. But if they're banged up and unhealthy,
Do they?
I think they do if they got on hand. Look at their offensive line.
But like you guys said last week, and I argued with you. Oh, they're really playing hard. I mean, this team's playing harder than normal.
That's what I said yesterday was one of those games they didn't play hard. I didn't feel that.
They must have listened to the
But
show
I mean, what are they
last
going to do? They keep rotating and rotating. If they give Austin Ford
talent.
Here's the thing. Austin Ford comes from New England. He was at Tennessee. I think Bidwell's going to give him a chance. These both a chance this year.
That's fair. Football 50 is brought to you by Twin Peaks. 5 Valley locations will be there on Thursday at Deer Valley. Don't forget our fan pick'em. Get in now, fanpick'em.com. Coming up, we'll catch up with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fouey for Factor Fouey. You'll hear from Kyler Murray and Jonathan Gannon right out of the gate. We'll tell you the latest on the Mets and Braves. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B at the Trophy Bar, our home on Mondays here on Fox Sports 910.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Kick off football season with Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light for a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. Text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win the amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, pizza oven, cornhole set, portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector, inflatable screen, cases of Cocoa 5, a cooler, and Wild Gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Make this football season unforgettable with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
Dreaming of a stunning putting green or a perfect lawn? With Tempe Turf Installers, it's a reality, starting at just $550 per square foot. Enjoy peace of mind with up to a 16-year product warranty and a 2-year labor warranty. Our skilled team uses cutting-edge techniques and premium materials for a lush, low-maintenance lawn. Call Mark at 602-348-7190 or visit TempeTurfInstallers.com for your free estimate. Licensed, bonded, insured. Tempe Turf Installers, your trusted source for artificial turf.
Tim Walls of Minnesota.
I couldn't be prouder to be on this ticket.
JD Vance of Ohio.
I will give you everything I have.
Make their case for your vote in the vice presidential debate. Listen on iHeart's 24/7 news channel.
Search Debate on the free iHeartRadio app.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
And Doug.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hello, parents. It is Mr. Jim. And did you know it's time for story time? My podcast, Kids Short Stories, was created for our own kids. You see, my wife loved the stories I was telling to them at bedtime, and she wanted me to record them so that they could listen to them in the car or maybe during quiet time. It's now been downloaded millions of times by kids all around the world as we turn their ideas into amazing adventures. You see, kids send in their story ideas, and then I create an awesome adventure about them. Maybe they're stopping the bad guy, finding a lost treasure, or riding a unicorn through the clouds. With a new adventure every single day, we have a lot of fun together. And it also decreases screen time, which we all know that battle. Well, my friends, search for me, Mr. Jim, or Kid Short Stories. So listen to Kid Short Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Are you guys ready for today's adventure? Me too. Let's go.
Broadcasting from the Raffi Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Diamondbacks are big-time Met fans right now. New York took game one of today's doubleheader against the Braves. The D-backs are looking for the Mets to beat Atlanta once more to get into the postseason. The Suns will pay tribute to late broadcasting legend Al McCoy this season with a jersey band that players will wear with the word Al. McCoy died September 21st at 91. Cardinals coaches back at the facility to evaluate game film from yesterday's loss to the Commanders. Players are receiving treatment to start recovery for Week 5 against the Niners. Sun Devil hockey hits the ice in 4 days for their season opener against Air Force on the road. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword money at foxsports910.com. That's money at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Monday, look for another hot day out there with temperatures well above those seasonal averages. 108 degrees is where we're headed with mostly sunny skies. For tonight, mostly clear with those overnight lows in the low 80s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900.
You're live?
Always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
All right, hope you're having a good Monday afternoon. Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, Jax got you covered here from the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo as they are our new home for Monday Night Football, as you'll have a chance tonight to roll the jumbo dice for $9,100. If you roll Fox 910, you win that. If you roll Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, or the Fox Sports logo, you'll win a big screen. Plus, 3 of a kind, you can win a $25 gift card, 4 of a kind of $50, 5 of a kind 100, all trophy gift cards. Plus, we'll have some ASU, UCF tickets to give away as well. So that is all coming up for the game 2 of the Monday night doubleheader. So we'll have that for you. This hour, Craig Fouie will join us, so we're looking to do that. But just to start, the baseball game today, on the Mets took the first of the 2. They're just underway in game 2. If the Mets do win that game, then the D-backs will open up tomorrow in Milwaukee for the playoffs and the wild card. If Atlanta wins, then Atlanta's in, and we'll start talking offseason for the D-backs.
Can you imagine with that run they had in the second half of the season, how well they were playing? Would they win like 21 out of 27 games?
It was an incredible number.
But they faltered at the wrong time again.
Yes.
And the bats went silent. The pitching, the starting rotation had struggles of going beyond 4 or 5 innings. Fott had a heck of a game yesterday. Erod struggled. Look at the first game. And it's like anything else, guys. Going into the playoffs when you get hot at the right time to carry that over. And then the D-backs last year snuck in the back door while losing their last game of the year. But look at them. They had 2 days off.
Right.
You know, they travel. They got they go to Milwaukee, and they pretty much they win that series. They sweep the Dodgers. Next thing you know, look where they're at. Baseball's just so odd that way, how you just get hot and get that momentum. But I got to tell you what, it's all about your pitching, because when it came down to it, the Padres lit them up in those first 2 games.
Right now, the Mets and Braves in game 2, it is the top of the second inning and no score. An interesting note from that game, Chris Sale the top pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, was scheduled to start this game, but he is out with back spasms. And so they have gone with Grant Holmes instead, meaning the Braves. And the Braves have to win to get in. If the Braves lose, the Diamondbacks get in and they head to Milwaukee.
You know, it's just fate is funny. You sit there and go, okay, we got our ace, right? And we need him, but he can't go. So this Holmes kid comes in, and wouldn't you know it, in folklore of Major League Baseball, Atlanta will probably win with a guy that came off the bench that wasn't scheduled to pitch, and that happens.
He's only started 6 games.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Grant, guess what? You're going to have the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
Grab the ball. You're up. Good luck, and let's see what happens. But, I mean, it's just that's the way baseball is. That's the way how stories are written. Sale's ready to go. He's your ace. We're going to live or die with this guy. Here comes Holmes. The kid hasn't thrown that much, and he's right there in the limelight, under the heat.
The Phoenix Suns begin training camp tomorrow. Earlier today, they had their media day, so practices will start going tomorrow through Friday. They'll open up their preseason against the Lakers in Palm Desert on Sunday, and they are playing 5 preseason games. So, are we ready for some NBA?
You know what? I'm not. I'm not till
Not at
right
all.
around Christmas. I mean, we'll watch them. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, the Christmas when it really kicks in. But I mean, with this Suns team, with this lineup that he's professed to put out their starting lineup, Mike Budenholzer, I'm excited for the Suns to see how they get started.
How it's going to look.
Yeah, how it's going to look, and are they going to get a good start? Can they go 10-2, 10-3, whatever it is? I'm just excited to see what they look like with under his coaching and how this new lineup. Well, the only one thing is just Tyus as the point guard as the only new body per se. How that happens,
But
how that looks different with a true point guard.
They have a lot of new bodies that I want to take a look at.
And you love Frank the Tank.
Look,
how about that?
I think it's great. Look, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Because I'm rarely wrong. Didn't Monty say in the finals when Kaminsky came in and played so well, and then in the post game, he said, I got to get more time for Kaminsky on the floor. And then he never did.
Yeah.
He never did.
Nice to see him back.
It is.
I mean, he's one of those guys that'll go bang down low, and he'll get you a few points.
He can shoot the three. He can rebound. He can run.
He's back in town. Yeah. So, but the other thing too is how he plays that depth that he has. He's got a lot of good, solid veteran players. I'm just anxious to see that mix, the way he blends everybody, especially early on in the season.
On a national level, it kind of flew under the radar for some of you, but for myself and Jimmy B, it didn't. The USA President's Cup, they won the 10th straight time that they've won. They've topped the international team 18.5 to 11.5 in Montreal. It's the largest margin of victory in the history of the tournament. For someone who is fortunate to go to the Ryder Cup, went last year, went the 4 years prior to that, I just wish this USA team could play the same when they play the Ryder Cup. I don't care about this President's Cup stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, do you?
I watched it. I
watched
thought it was
it,
fun.
I don't know. It's the Ryder Cup you want.
I know, but you know what
this
was
is like made for TV stuff.
Well, partly is. But what was fun about it was some of the players, not on the USA, but on the international team, like Tom Kim, for an example. I mean, they were talking trash, and Scotty Scheffler's talking it right back at him. Oh my God, it was. You don't get that in golf because in golf you're so robotic a lot of times, and it's kind of a snooty sport, and it's tough to kind of dial into that. But I got a kick out of that, and I found that at least pretty entertaining.
I wonder if they talked smack to Tiger when he was in his prime like that.
I don't think
Tiger would give him a. I think Tiger would give him a look.
Back.
Oh yeah. Give it. But I saw some of the. I didn't pay attention like you guys saw the highlights. Some of the shots that were made when they had to be made.
Tremendous
shots. And was it Schauffele the out of the sand trap?
Yes.
He
just
dunks it. Dunks it in, and then. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just. Competition-wise, it seems to be the competition. Maybe it's just the pressure of the Ryder Cup. I don't know. I'm like you, Roc. How do you kick somebody's butt year after year after year?
10 straight.
Yeah, and then in the Ryder Cup, they seem to struggle. They split.
It was frustrating to get all the way to Italy and watch the team. I
You
went
called
Thursday,
this-
Friday.
You called this live.
It was
from
brutal.
Italy. Yeah.
Just no fun.
Yeah.
You know. Well, hopefully when it's in New York, it'll be different this time around. By the way, tonight Monday night doubleheader for football: Dolphins, Titans, followed by the Seahawks and Lions. Two really good games.
Yes.
I mean, looking forward to that. Whereas last week, we had you had the Commanders and the Bengals, and then what was the other one last Monday night? I can't remember.
Oh,
Who?
man. Bills and the
Jets.
Jacksonville.
What happened to the Bills this weekend?
Thank
dude?
God. Well, that's called Baltimore going motivated. We need to win.
That's
and
an
we
ass
need to,
kicking
that
is
was
what it was.
that was
Really
them.
did.
There was them like they woke up.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, we got to win this game. We can't go down 0-3. And I'm hearing rumblings in Jacksonville already about Doug Peterson.
That's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
you
so
just hearing him?
No. I mean, I know that, but it's
Put
not so
his
much.
hearing aid in.
You know, what I said about 2 weeks ago, not so much Doug Peterson is Trevor Lawrence. His performances have you get the context. This kid's not playing. He's not progressing. When I watch him, I'm not saying the growth, some of the throws. We broke it down last week.
Yes.
The throws, where's he throwing it? The
All right, but
inconsistency.
It's surprising with Peterson as a former
I was
quarterback.
just going to say that. Yeah.
Well, but he can do so much, like we talked about earlier. You can put the guy in the right position. Is he learning the game? Is he understanding the game? Is he understanding what you want? And on top of that, is Doug Peterson playing to the strengths of Trevor Lawrence? He did 2 years ago when he went to the playoffs, but right now they've got the guys, they've got the dudes on that team. Something is just amiss with that Jacksonville team. I don't know if it's Peterson's coaching. Trevor Lawrence is not playing very well.
He's not.
You're seeing this team all over the place, and I think those are some of the things you look at. So we'll see some of that from moving forward. And then Titans and Dolphins, they're scuffle-up-less too. Thinking about that.
The Dolphins don't have their quarterback.
At 1-2, the Titans at 0-3, and then this Seahawks Lions game. Talk about a true litmus test for the Seahawks.
It is.
Are you live or are you Memorex?
Yeah.
Are you the real deal or are you not?
Why'd you take your glasses off?
Because the sun is reflecting on my glasses through there.
No, because
Jackson's taking a
No,
picture.
it's off the car window.
Guys, it's unbelievable work of these two guys. They take their glasses off when anybody has a camera.
I leave them on during the show. I leave them on. Jimmy takes off because he tries to tell us he's getting reflection. Jackson's taking photos. We got you, Jimmy.
Where is the sun even close?
There's no reflection.
Off that white car.
There's no reflection.
Right there.
No, Jimmy, we got you.
You need new glasses.
We got you covered.
Hey, headlines are brought to you by our Twin Peaks fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. You can kick off the football season with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. Thanks to Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's real easy to enter. Just text PEAKS to 59925. That's PEAKS to 59925. And we have one big prize that we're giving away at the end of the year. A Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven, a cornhole set, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with inflatable screen, a cooler, multiple cases of Cocoa 5, and a logoed Wild Gear tumblers of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply, and you can do it every day and make this football season unforgettable at Twin Peaks. We'll be at the Deer Valley location on Thursday. But our home on Mondays now. We're really excited to be here at the Trophy Bar in Downtown Ocotillo, a place that I had not been to. The only time I ever get to Ocotillo is to play golf.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't want to get too close that they may bring me in and I'd be in Sun Lakes.
Well, you're old enough. You qualify.
You sure
I
do.
know, I do.
Yeah.
At 55, I can get into Sun Lakes.
Yeah,
you
right.
can.
Like when you move into there, like at Desert Mountain, you have to buy a house to get a membership to the golf course. Do you get a golf cart when you move into Sun
No,
Lakes?
you don't get a golf cart.
You don't. His dad had one. I mean, he had one.
He bought it. His dad bought it.
I know, and then I bought it from him.
Yeah.
He souped it up.
Yeah, he
You
did.
want it or you
I
ride your
might-
bike?
I don't know.
Ride your bike.
I ride my bike.
You don't ride your bike.
Hey,
I
coming
do.
up, a little Factor Philly with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fooey. He will join us next to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here on Fox Sports 910.
Pick games each week. Sign up now for Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, brought to you by
Do I need
Blue
to be
Moon
louder?
Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Win weekly Twin Peaks Man cards and season-long prizes, including $5,000 cash. Visit fanpick'em.com.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at righttoyota.com.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G Protein Bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2Gbar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G Protein Bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Hello, parents. It is Mr. Jim. And did you know it's time for story time? My podcast, Kids Short Stories, was created for our own kids. You see, my wife loved the stories I was telling to them at bedtime, and she wanted me to record them so that they could listen to them in the car or maybe during quiet time.
Voice ready.
Downloaded millions of times by kids all around the world as we turn their ideas into amazing adventures. You see, kids send in their story ideas, and then I create an awesome adventure about them. Maybe they're stopping the bad guy, finding a lost treasure, or riding a unicorn through the clouds. With a new adventure every single day, we have a lot of fun together. And it also decreases screen time, which we all know that battle. Well, my friends, search for me, Mr. Jim, or Kid Short Stories. So listen to Kid Short Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Are you guys ready for today's adventure? Me too. Let's go.
Burger King's kicking up the flavor. Things are heating up at Burger King. Introducing the all-new Fiery Menu. 5 of your favorite items now at 5 levels of heat. From mild with fiery strawberry and Sprite to wild with the fiery bacon royal crispy chicken. Now that's major.
You roll your season today at BK. Have it your way.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Spicy strawberry puree with Sprite.
It's time for Fact or Phooey with ABC 15 sports director Craig Phooey. Phooey joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now here's ABC 15's Craig Phooey.
All right, Phooey joins us now on the Right to It guest line. How you doing today, Phooey? What's going on?
I'm doing good, guys. We've had Suns Media Day. We've got the D-backs watching the Mets-Braves doubleheader. I've been over at Kenny Dillingham at ASU, and now I'm at Cardinals.
Wow.
Waiting for Jonathan Gannon.
Busy Monday. Motivational Monday, right, Craig? Motivational Monday.
Yeah, we got a Monday night game. We've got a Monday night game on ABC tonight.
Yeah,
you do.
That's
It's gonna be
awesome.
fun.
All right, Factor
Yeah.
Philly, let's
Yeah.
dive right into it. Let's start with the Cardinals as the process, as Jonathan Gannon has talked about with this Cardinal team, is going to take longer than expected, and Cardinal fans need to be patient. Fact or Phooey?
I don't know. Are we tired of being patient? I don't know. I mean, you think that's
Good
kind of
point.
gone out the. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Well, I mean, we've had 2 back-to-back 4-13 seasons. We're off to a 1-3 start here. They said this was a new culture, the new regime, the new way, the new plan. Out with Camp Cliff and in with the tough guy, Jonathan Gannon, who's going to love up the players, but hold them accountable. And they got blown off the field yesterday. I don't think there's any excuses for that. I do know they're under the salary cap, so they haven't spent all the money. So you got to question that, what's going on. But other than that, we should not be patient at this point. We got Kyler Murray, who's a 6-year veteran. We've got Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson at receiver. I don't know why you should be patient at this point.
All right, Coach, question number 2. Commanders offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury's play calling schooled the Arizona Cardinals defense in an embarrassing way. Fact or Phooey?
No, that's a fact. And listen, I'm the first guy to line up and say Cliff was beaten up here for no reason. Cliff did a good job here. He ran this offense. He's very similar to what he's doing in Washington with a rookie quarterback when he came in Kyler. Now he's got Jaden Daniels. But he just ran roughshod over the Cardinals defense yesterday. And then the 2-point conversion to Zach Ertz just was icing on the cake, right? It was just like, okay, one more. Let's get you one more here, guys. And then he got the game ball afterwards. I thought it was just a marvelous performance, masterful performance by Cliff Kingsbury.
All right, we'll get to number 3, continuing with the Cardinals talk. Cardinals offensive coordinator Drew Pensing's offense has only been good for 1 quarter in the 3 losses that they have had this year. Fact or phooey, Coach?
Well, they played pretty well in that first half against Buffalo, right? They played pretty darn well against the Rams. Played pretty darn well against the Rams at home. But yeah, when you look at it, it's like when the plays are scripted to start a game, they look pretty good. Go down and score on the first or second drive, and then after that, it's kind of like, where are the adjustments? What are we doing to change things up as we get ready for the second half or the third, fourth quarters? What are we doing? And so you've got to question what's going on in that offensive staff meeting at halftime in terms of adjustments and changes.
Philly, is it the same old Cardinals? Same old Cardinals. Yeah. I mean, it really hasn't changed.
Is there any reason to change your mind on that?
No.
I mean, we had Bruce Arians, and he had some success until the end. And then we've had Cliff now, and now Jonathan Gannon, and from Steve Keim to Monty Ossenfort. What's really changed?
All right, let's switch gears. Baseball. The D-backs have no one else to blame but themselves. Fact or phooey?
Fact.
Yep.
I mean, there's no question about that. You blew a series against the Giants, and then you started off just poorly against the Padres. I'm glad I didn't use that other word I was going to use. But you know what I mean? I mean, they had their backs against the wall yesterday, and they came out and won 11-2. And so, why are you in this position in the first place? You've had a team that's been up and down all year, and more up than down. And then you get into the skid in September, and you're just like laying an egg. And it's like, what is going on here? This team should be better than this at this point in the season. You don't want to limp into the playoffs or back into the playoffs like you did a year ago. You want to come in charging and playing on all cylinders. So I'm disappointed in the way they played. I know Torrey is too. I know the fans are. It's just, you shouldn't be in this position watching the Mets and Braves in a doubleheader.
All right, Coach, the last one, the Phoenix Suns. The Suns starting lineup mentioned by head coach Mike Budenholzer over the weekend of Tyus Jones, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, KD, and Yusuf Nurkic will have the Suns contending for a Western Conference final. Fact or phooey?
Can I sit on the fence?
Sure.
I'm gonna say phooey on that right now. Just because I'm just not buying this team yet, right? The changes they made were getting a new head coach. And then you've got a bunch of veteran minimum guys coming in over Frank Kaminsky, another veteran minimum guy coming in. And I just don't know if you can ever get these guys to play together in a championship way. I don't know. I mean, the jury's still out for me. And I would love to sit on the fence and say I'm hopeful, but I just don't believe yet.
Phil, you've been covering a lot of media days. Is this one any different than years past?
Well, they're worse. It's like no one-on-ones, no off. You're just like everybody comes to the podium one by one. It's just like, okay, we're going to just ask general questions at the podium, and that's it. So I don't know. It's a changing world, I guess, and maybe I'm old school too much. Other than my offense, Manuch, I still like the spread, no huddle. But anyway, I don't know. I guess I'm just aging fast.
Coach, is that because they don't want anything out there unnecessarily on the social media? They want to keep it all controlled these days?
No, it's all, to me, it's all birthed out of the COVID, the pandemic when they were just on Zoom, and now the players are in control of who they talk to, when they talk to them. And so they just don't want to do that. They don't want to be burdened by talking to too many media people throughout the day. So if I just do one at the podium and maybe do a local radio station, then I'm okay. I just think it's gone from that to this in 4 years.
Will there be some questions about winning the gold medal at the Olympics?
Yeah, you guarantee there were those, right? How cool is it to have 2? How cool is it to have 4?
Sure.
It's like, yeah, okay. That's awesome. Yeah, but can you play together and win a championship here in Phoenix?
Yes, that's the key.
So they're all
and listen, guys, I'm one of those, not lifelong, but certainly 28 years now or so, a Phoenix fan, right? An Arizona fan. And we've been disappointed so much more often than we've been excited and elated, right? Yeah. And it's just like the disappointments continue to mount, and you get to a point like where I'm at, where I'm not buying the hype anymore of everything, right? I'm just like, let me wait and see. I mean, I'm encouraged. I'm the eternal optimist too. but I just have to see it to believe it.
So who's the closest of the three major teams to win a championship? There's closest
Who?
to win a championship.
Well, I'd have to say the Suns,
Yeah.
just with the roster they have, right? But in terms of where the D-backs go from here, is Ken Kendrick going to pony up again next year to try and build this when he put all his chips to the center of the table
3.
this year? You know, are the Cardinals going to spend to the salary cap? Are they going to hold money back again? Are you going to build a defense? I know it takes time for Monty Ossenfort because he inherited a mess from Steve Keim, but at what point do you say, hey, we got our foot down and pedal to the metal, here we go? And it's just not there yet.
If you look into your crystal ball, and let's hope that the Mets come back and they win this game and there is playoff baseball for the Diamondbacks. But if there's not and Atlanta does win, what do you suspect that in your crystal ball will be the narrative in the offseason? Will it be the stadium issue? Will it be getting a big-time free agent, trying to create an identity? What do you think it could be?
Well, like I said just a minute ago, Rock, I think, Ken Kendrick put his money, all of his chips to the center of the table last year. And I don't know if he's going to be willing to do that next year because the pitching staff was not good.
Yeah.
Right? The hitting was great. The offense was great. But now you got Christian Walker. You're going to bring him back. You got Zach Gallen to consider. Are you bringing him back? What are you going to do with that roster and try and find a pitching staff that's going to hold up? Merrill Kelly was hurt. Rodriguez was hurt. So it's tough for them. And in terms of the stadium, what a mess that is, huh?
Yeah.
The ballpark, what a mess. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, they can't get any help, any direction. And so that who knows, maybe they move out to the suburbs. I have no idea what they're planning, but it's a mess for sure.
Philly, as always, buddy, we'll let you get back to your real job, and we appreciate you taking time.
I'm all ticked off today, darn it.
Yeah, you are, man. It was great.
That's Craig Philly, ABC 15. They got the Monday night game tonight, of course, and you'll be able to check him out as he'll have the post game as well as Philly joins us right before the Cardinal presser with Jonathan Gannon. Not good.
A lot of questions, I'm sure, for Jonathan Gannon. I think he's looking for answers. He's talking about accountability. I think that goes coaching staff. That goes with the players. It's a
look in
full
the mirror.
blow.
And look in the mirror.
So I said it's accountability. It's both ways. Head coach and his staff. And
you gotta talk to players and say, how come, just like what Manuch referenced earlier in the show. He said he saw several guys miss tackle after tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't do that.
that is focus, concentration, and lack of intensity. And even Buda Baker, who's all over.
Yeah.
I saw him miss several tackles too. I mean, I give him he's Mr.
But they're
Go-Go
playing harder
gadget.
than last year.
They're playing hard, but for some reason, why they're missing tackles, I think a lot of that
played
is
really bad. And okay, it's one game. Okay,
Yes,
we
it
don't
is.
need to go
Yeah,
crazy
that
on
is
one
correct.
game.
That is right.
But to get beat that bad the way that they did, I mean, even though that first series looked great, you're like, okay, the Cardinals are going to roll them.
Went right down
This
the
is
field.
the game that everybody picked on their schedule that they were going to win.
Yeah. And you think about that, guys, when you're playing over half the game, the defense, and both last year over half the game, I know he was substituting a lot of guys in and out, but I got to tell you, Cliff Kingsbury had him dizzy on a lot of the stuff he was doing, and they just never adjust. I guess I'm disappointed in the lack of adjustments by both the coordinators. That's my whole contention.
But it's easy as an armchair quarterback on a Monday to say, oh, they should have made all these adjustments, right?
Well, that's what we do.
Well, but they're not adjusting to the adjustments. That's the thing that upsets me. I see things going, okay, if they're going to run this, and this, where's the backside end to seal him on bootlegs and waggles with Jaden Daniels? He's doing the same old. Okay, don't you have an extra guy, a defense, to force him inside on certain things? But what helped that is their running game was pounding the Cardinals so they could do things at will eventually.
We even discussed this last week prior to this game, and we talked about, do you put a spy on Jaden Daniels every once in a while? They never did any of that. Nothing.
Coming up, our good, bad, and ugly from week 5 in college football, our G2G protein bar game changers from the weekend as well. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from the Trophy Bar, our new home on Monday night here on Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Tribute to late broadcasting legend Al McCoy by the Suns this season. The players will wear a jersey band with the word Al on it. McCoy died September 21st at 91 years old. The Cardinals are beginning preparations for Week 5 against the 49ers. They return to the practice field on Wednesday. The Mets took Game 1 of today's doubleheader versus the Braves, so the Diamondbacks are looking for New York to beat Atlanta once more in Game 2 in order to get into the postseason. Sun Devil hockey hits the ice in 4 days for their season opener versus Air Force on the road. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're not just a sports bar. We're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, get ready to score big on fun and flavor. Only at BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day. Check us out online at bkdsbackyard.com. That's bkdsbackyard.com.
Hey, it's Rock for Wright Toyota. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, check out Wright Toyota and WrightToyota.com. We broadcast there every Friday from 1 to 4, so stop by, say hello. Right on the price, right on the selection, WrightToyota.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is here, which means my team and I are ready to serve you and your family. Go to state48roofing.com, scan the QR code below. We'll see you up on your roof.
Hey, Arizona, it's Mike Wilbon. I've been around sports professionally and personally for a long, long time. And whether you're on a court, in the gym, or just navigating a tough day, you need to stay hydrated. That's where Cocoa 5 comes in. Cocoa 5 isn't your average sports drink, packed with the electrolytes your body craves, but without the artificial junk you don't need. Available at your favorite stores, Cocoa 5 Active Hydration. Stay hydrated, Arizona.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Save no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
And Doug. Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, #1, customize and save. #2, time allowing, save me.
Shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hello, parents. It's Mr. Jim, and I want to invite your kids to listen to Kids Short Stories. You see, kids all around the world listen to Kids Short Stories and send in their ideas. And every single day, I create a brand new story about them finding treasure, stopping the bad guy, or flying on a unicorn. If you're looking to cut down on screen time, search for Mr. Jim. So listen to Kids Short Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The NFL season is underway. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus, Arizona only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at dkng.co/ftball.
Hamsters get the much-needed stop. Thorne.
Your life?
It is intercepted! Intercepted by Lewis! Kip Lewis!
This audio's over a minute.
My! Pick six!
The bulk of them coming on this possession. Amari Daniels in at running back on 1st and goal for Texas A&M. Reed throwing, it's caught, it's a touchdown. Trey Watson puts the Aggies in front. What a drive by A&M. Wimps it, keeps it, following Sumo Karnbay. And the ball comes out into the end zone, and it's recovered for a touchdown by Josh Caddis.
But Morgan Scally dials up. It's just a four-man rush. It's picked up. Fafita scrambling, throws deep, end zone, caught, touchdown, Kian Burnett.
10.
Another amazing throw by Fafita on the run to the back of the end zone for 35 yards.
What a weekend, week 5 in college football with Alabama top of Georgia and 2 top 10 teams getting upset. What a thrilling day of college football. Let's dive into our G2G protein bar game changers of the weekend. Manuch?
I'm going to go right from the get-go, that great Alabama-Georgia game. How about Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe? Passes for 374 yards, 2 touchdown passes, also rushed for 117 yards, and the 2 touchdown runs. So total offense of the 4 touchdowns for 491 yards versus Georgia in a huge game in that 41-34 victory. Guys, he averaged over 11 yards per pass play and close to 8 yards per carry when he ran the football. So Jalen Milroe came alive, probably the game of his life so far, and taking on and beating the Georgia Bulldogs there in Tuscaloosa.
Jimmy B.
I'm going with Austin Genty, the running back from Boise
Heisman Trophy
State.
winner.
He should be
He's
in the
running.
conversation.
He's unbelievable.
He's terrific
Phenomenal.
if you haven't seen him. Against Washington State, a team that was undefeated, he only ran for 259 yards and 4 touchdowns. Only 259 yards and 4 scores. So right now, in the games that he has played, he has carried 82 times for 834 yards, 13 touchdowns, and he's averaging better than 10 yards a carry when he runs with the football. Austin Genty, running back, Boise State, my G2G protein bar game changer.
Can't believe I'm doing this. Cliff Kingsbury and the Washington offense. They have scored on 68% of their drives, the highest rate through 4 games of any team since 2000. And if you look at that list, it was Tom Brady's type teams. And you look at Daniels completing 82% of his passes, the best in the league history through the first 4 games with at least 75 attempts. Brady was 79.2 in 2007. That was that big year when they had an historic unbeaten regular season. But Daniels, 71% of passes traveling at least 10 yards past the line of scrimmage. He leads the league comfortably. Guess who's second, Manuch?
Be Brock Purdy.
That's right, 66%. That's all because of you. So I'm going with
glad somebody recognizes that.
The Washington offense. Cliff Kingsbury, I mean, he may end up being a head coach in this league.
You know what? And that's a good point, Rock. I mean, he keeps this up, and then they go into the playoffs for a couple, 2-3 years. They're going to go, okay, hey, Cliff, can you fix Jacksonville? Hey, Cliff, can you fix New England? Hey, I mean, there's plenty of opportunity, but I think once the second half of the season comes around, you play a lot of your cohorts in NFC East the second time around. We'll see what adjustments are made against his offense. Remember, we talked about this, Rock. He just couldn't make a lot of adjustments in the second half of the season. Hell, they start off 7-0. Next thing you know, they're fighting for their playoff lives. They sneak in the back door and get smoked by the Rams.
Yep.
But I think that, yeah, he's adding the running game. He's adding what Jaden Daniels does so well. And he's got receiving. He's got tight end. He's got receiving core. He's got a full arsenal. But I think the proof will come in the pudding once they get into the second half of the season and see how he can continue this thing.
So as you look at week 5, the good, the bad, the ugly, I think the good you got to go with, of course, Alabama, Kentucky, some of the usual suspects. But let's give some love to this defense for Arizona to take down Utah. They came away, that defense, as Utah, they were number 10 in the country when they played them the other night.
Right.
They came away without a touchdown, 3 straight red zone trips. That offense just struggled for them, but you got to give credit for Arizona. I think you got to give them the most love right now in the city right now.
Well, I think that the week off helped them immensely.
Yeah.
They had to go back to the drawing board.
Hopefully the same will play for Arizona State Sunday.
Yes, take on KU.
But I was just going to say, they get killed by your K-State Wildcats. I mean, they were buried. Then they get the week off, and then they show up and they play like this. What changes?
Well, I just think that they needed someone to catch their breath and realize, this Utah team, I think without Cam Rising,
Yes,
they look their
makes a big
offense like
difference.
pedestrian.
It is.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Wilson kid.
What's his injury?
It was a shoulder or Jackson.
Oh, it's a laceration on his throwing hand.
Okay.
So when he played, I think it was the second game of the season, he
Yes.
got pushed into the bench and he had a big laceration on his hand. They thought it got better. It got swollen. So now
Did
they're
he-
like 50-50 on when he's going to play. But it's weird because it's been like 3 weeks since he's last
And
played.
if it gets swollen,
What's wrong with you football players?
Well,
I
here-
think you guys are supposed to be the toughest.
Well, it got cut. That's a laceration cut. You got to make sure it doesn't get
I got a
infected.
couple cuts. I make it to work.
But his cut was a major cut across the top of his
I put
hand.
advantage on it.
And when you try to throw, you pronate like that,
Yeah,
it reopens the wound. I mean, you can get
Hey,
infection.
the bad is it's got to be North Carolina. Mac Brown's North Carolina team. James Madison puts 70 on you. Yeah. Then you lose to Duke, and you're up by a bunch, and you lose. Duke is now 5-0.
Yes.
How about that? That's a
The
pretty good deal.
vaunted
And then-
rivalry.
And then Texas State. They had a 22-0 lead against Sam Houston. All right. And here they are, all the talk about Mountain West, Pac-12, Texas State. They had at one point they led 39-21, but still lost to the Bearcats 40-39.
Because
not
air raid
good.
offense has come alive. And
And the ugly is going to be, I hate to say it, but there are a lot of people really upset about this. Is Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old phenom for Atlanta, for Alabama, who had a two-word phrase on his eyes, the black eye,
The tape.
Eye black.
eye black. Didn't say roll tide.
No.
Kill everybody.
Kill everybody.
Kill everybody. I'm surprised.
And everybody's and people in Tuscaloosa are saying it's a reference from the movie The Program. And there was something in there where Alvin Black, he was in that movie, and they talk about that when they're breaking down film. And he said, kill the quarterback, hit the tight end so hard, his girlfriend dies too, kill everybody. That's what they are saying there. I think there's more to that. Somebody needs to sit down with this kid because that's just not right.
I think
Come
whoever
on, in
the
the world we live in right now. All right, John 3:16. Okay, get away with that. Like,
Yeah.
But the coaches, whoever saw that on his eye, did you miss that? It's like, did you guys? I would have said, look, son.
TV didn't get to it till the third quarter.
Yeah, I would say take that off, put regular eye black on. We're not going to do that here at Alabama. Whatever the situation is, whatever movie, that's just not something you want to see in collegiate football. Kill everybody. I don't care what the reference is. I mean, hammer it home, whatever, put something like that. But I'm shocked that nobody in Alabama picked up on that and made him take that eye
I had a
off.
guy last night at the refreshment stand. It was adamant about how pissed off he was that he saw that.
Wow.
Well, a lot of people
really
were.
had a problem with it.
Yeah.
Because you see that after the touchdown, you go kill, and then you see everybody. I looked at my wife for watching him. I said, "Why is that allowed?"
You watched the Alabama Georgia game with your wife?
Absolutely. She was in the same room. Yes, we
Oh,
were.
she was in the same room.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big difference. And your room's also it's connected to your kitchen.
No.
Connected to your reading room.
We're
and
in
everything else.
my mother-in-law's room, so we're watching the game, having dinner with her,
And
and
then
then
like you sit on the couch together, holding hands, watching
So,
this.
so in other words, she walked through the
She
room
went
once
through-
in
yeah.
a while.
No, she was
Yes.
watching the game. We were watching the game together.
You're
Watching
just
that
trying
Bama.
to justify us like you're such a great husband.
No.
You're trying to ruin it for
We were
everybody
actually
else.
watching with my mother-in-law and her in the same room. The game was on because we're
Oh,
bringing dinner, so it was one of those.
Hey, we're at
family
the trophy, We're at
bonding.
the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo, our new home on Mondays. We're going to catch up with Tim Hovick next from Santan Ford. It's going to be one of our guys that's going to call in. You're going to be able to challenge him on picks this week. We'll have him come on. We'll kind of talk to him about tonight's game, get his thoughts on the Cardinals. He's a big Cardinals supporter as well as ASU. So Tim Hovick will join us next. We also got Frank Sanders and Rudy Carpenter coming up in the next hour. It's Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo.
Attention Nebraska and Arizona fans. Catch every thrilling game at Arena Sports Grill, your official watch party destination. Enjoy great food, drinks, and the ultimate game day atmosphere with fellow fans. Don't miss a single play. Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k, employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Tee off your Saturdays with the Happy Hackers Golf Show. Join Jimmy Bryson and Kevin Miragami as they bring you tips, laughs, and the latest in golf. Tune in at 7 a.m. on Fox Sports 910 or online at happyhackersgolfshow.com.
DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale is the area's best-kept secret for sports entertainment. Complete with 2,700 square feet of TV screens playing your favorite sports, an exceptional food and beverage menu, and comfortable seating for all. This is where fans fuel their passion. Located on Scottsdale's premier golf course, DraftKings Sportsbook introduces an electric 19th-hole experience to the links. Swing by the course in North Scottsdale to feel all the excitement that football watch parties, Friday happy hours, and weekend brunch have to offer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Shop Macy's VIP sale going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends from designers that rarely go on sale. And save 15% off skincare, makeup, fragrances, and more. Plus, shop fall specials for even more great deals on top brands at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Stand by.
We are Santan Ford. Now to break down tonight's Monday night
Your life?
Give his lock is owner and operator of Santan Ford in Gilbert, Tim Hobeck. Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B tonight for another Monday night game at the Trophy Bar and your chance to roll the dice for $9,100. Now, Tim Hobeck on Fox Sports 910.
That's right. We are out here at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo. It's been open for about a year and a half, right, Tim? About a year and a half.
Yeah, just passing our 1-year anniversary.
And we are excited to be here at our new home on Monday nights, and you'll have a chance to roll the dice for $9,100. We'll be doing that during the second game of tonight. And tell us more about the Trophy Bar and, where that idea came. I know there's car pictures. I mean, this place is beautiful. The outside, you host an ASU show here. You also host a Cardinal show here. What is kind of the goal for this first one? I'm sure it's one of many possibly.
Yeah, it could end up that way. It's been it was kind of funny. A lot of people have asked me. Obviously, I've got a day job at Santan.
You do?
Ford,
Yeah.
And so people kind of said, how did this happen? And I told them I've gone through the checklist of life, everything that you shouldn't do, and there was only one thing missing. I hadn't opened up a sports bar yet. So I thought, why not? This makes all the sense in the world, right? But no, it's been a lot of fun. Partnered with a couple of great guys, with Russell and Jeff Marley, Dan's brother.
Sure.
And we've really had a lot of fun with it, and the place is doing very well. And I know you guys have been pleased to be down here and have seen it. It's a great place to watch a game, and it's a great place to go on a date, and sort of everything in between.
I want to sit out on the patio once it's not 150 degrees outside.
Yeah.
The patio is gorgeous.
It really is. We actually built that from scratch.
Okay.
Wow.
We put the patio in, and the second part of it might be we might have to enclose it if this heat's going to continue on. I mean, we're got to be about the middle of October, I think, before it's under 100. But no, it's been fun, and I think people really enjoy coming here.
What is the idea behind the cars? I mean, obviously you're in that business. Is that kind of where that came from? Do you have a collection of old cars? Are you into that?
I'm not into it as much as some, but
Okay.
I do have a few.
Okay.
I do have a little bit of a collection of vehicles, but when we kind of looked at what do we want this to be, that seemed like kind of a natural fit. And so sports and cars, they kind of seem to go together for a lot of people. And so we just have kind of continued on with that theme and the decor and so forth. And I think people really like it.
Tim Hovick joining us here from his place, the Trophy Sports Car Spirits Bar. When you look at Cardinal football, tough one yesterday. What do you tell fans right now that are just saying, "Oh man, that they didn't look good"? Offense, defense, special teams. It was just a bad day. Do you just throw it? You just flush it down the toilet and look ahead to San Francisco?
Well, I think if you're the Cardinals, you don't really have a lot of choice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I heard Coach Gannon in his press conference, and he said, "Hey, you can't let one game cost you 2 games." And I think, I think there's something to be said for that. I do think, the blush is off the rose a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was a tough one, and I've talked to a lot of fans around town, a lot of community people, and nobody's thrown in the towel yet. The season's early and so forth. But I will tell you, I think there'd been and I would include myself in that group, there'd been kind of a thought of optimism of, hey, our roster isn't quite what we need it to be yet in the rebuild, but the way we're playing and the way we're competing, and I don't know what the statistic was, but darn near every game last year at some point in the second half we were ahead. I think there was a lot of that. And yesterday, I think, wiped away quite a bit of that. I think now it's a little bit more, hey, what are we?
Yeah. And then the dawning of a new era in the Big 12, Arizona State. You got KU coming on. KU. I'm a K-Stater. So
okay.
Yeah, I can. But talk about that, the excitement of them going to the Big 12 and the dawning of a new era in the second year of Kenny Dillingham and this staff and the excitement that brings and getting more people to get more butts in the seats out there.
I think that's it. I think there is a kind of a renewed. I talked to Kenny quite a bit. I, in fact, talked to him this morning, and I think all of us being out here in the West, there was certainly a little bit of disappointment in the way things kind of unraveled at the very end for the Pac-12. But with for every action, there's a reaction.
Yeah,
and
there is.
What came of that was an opportunity for kind of a new beginning and a new frontier. And it's not just obviously football. I mean, I don't think very many people would argue that now with the new conference, Big 12's the preeminent basketball conference.
No question.
In college sports. I was fortunate enough a couple weeks ago. I went to the Big 12 opener in Lubbock, and it was fun. It was a great atmosphere. Probably wasn't our best game, but it was sure exciting to be in a new college town. And I know I'm gonna go to your alma mater. I'm going to go to Manhattan, Kansas.
You better be ready. You better be prepared.
There's not much there.
I will
have
a
Little Apple. I mean, it could be. You may get lost.
I am putting my chin strap on.
Yeah,
you better.
I am going to be ready. But no, this will be fun. And got a little bit of breaking news for you.
Okay.
We really worked hard over the last. Really took about 4 months to put together, and we wanted to create a new model, a more efficient model, and something that was sustainable. And so on Thursday, Santan Ford will be delivering the Sun Devil NIL Collective 10 vehicles.
Wow.
And it's going to be done a little bit different than I think a lot of the vehicles with NILs have been a little bit kind of mom and pop, one from a dealer or so forth. This is actually very professional. It's through the NIL. The coaching staff will have some say and some control as to using those cars for both recruiting and retention. And
retention's big too.
That's a big deal with the transfer portal, obviously.
Yep.
So we're really excited. I know Graham Rossini, the athletic director, and Coach Kenny, they're pumped about this, and we're really excited. So again, upward and onward, Sun Devil Nation, let's go.
I got to tell you, I haven't even talked to these guys about it, but I got a personal letter from Graham about a week ago, thanking him for our coverage, and that's the first time I've ever got a written letter. Not written, but it was typed, but it was him.
Yes.
Thanking us for our coverage. And we bring Charlie Regal on every week, and we talk a lot of Sun Devil, of course. We're Sun Devil country. But That's never happened in 30-something years I've
That's
been here.
different.
Where an athletic director reaches out. And I remember Doug Tamaro called me for, he just wants to get I need your address for your birthday or send your credential. I didn't know what it was for, and it was a letter from him.
But Tim, don't you think that's that personal touch that's missing?
Awesome.
That
awesome.
Is you talk about culture.
I think in the last few months since Dr. Crow made the announcement and Graham moved into the position,
Love it.
I know myself and a lot of Sun Devil alumni that were aware of the situation. We were over the moon. I mean, I was a big proponent. I think it was the right direction. And again, I'm not going to throw mud on the past, so to speak. But it's a new direction. It's a new way for us to move forward. It's critically important. Maybe not always, but in this current situation, that he's a Sun Devil. He gets it.
Sure.
Yeah. I think his history, but he was a baseball player. He likes to joke. I think he was like number 71, and he said, if you're number 71, it means you probably don't play a lot. but he was with when Pat Murphy was here. Of course, has done a phenomenal job with the Brewers, and he bleeds maroon and gold, and his enthusiasm and his energy, and just what you spoke about, what he did to you, that's not a one-off. That's who he is, and he is anywhere and everywhere to talk about the Sun Devils and Arizona State University, and really, I think it's such a healthy way. Like a lot of people, I maybe wasn't the most excited about the NIL when all the court rulings came and so forth and so on, and clearly there's some things that need to be cleaned up with that, but that is the rules that, we do have to live with that. And I think what he's brought in the perspective that this is about the student athlete. This is about what can we do to enhance the experience that a student athlete has. It's not about just giving kids money or cars or, we remember the jokes, right? The school that went on probation because they bought a student athlete a hamburger.
Sure.
The pendulum has swung maybe a little too far the other way. But if you were a student athlete, you kind of had the worst experience of anybody who went to the school because you couldn't do anything.
He's Tim Hobeck, Santan Ford. He will be joining us every Monday here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We'll come back with Rudy Carpenter and Frank Sanders. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Back to veterans and first responders through the Honor Home Rewards program. So if you've been thinking about buying or selling your home and you're a veteran, active duty, or first responder, the time is now. Work with one of the top-rated real estate professionals at the Jason Mitchell Group and put thousands of dollars back in your pocket when you close. Check out honorhomerewards.com. That's honorhomerewards.com. Honor Home Rewards, rewarding those that deserve it most.
Biggest mistake people make is waiting too long before they call Raffy. Let us go to work immediately.
I'm calling Raffy. 623-388-4333. Call Rappy.
Hello, parents. It is Mr. Jim. And did you know it's time for story time? My podcast, Kids Short Stories, was created for our own kids. You see, my wife loved the stories I was telling to them at bedtime, and she wanted me to record them so that they could listen to them in the car or maybe during quiet time. It's now been downloaded millions of times by kids all around the world as we turn their ideas into amazing adventures. You see, kids send in their story ideas, and then I create an awesome adventure about them. Maybe they're stopping the bad guy, finding a lost treasure, or riding a unicorn through the clouds. With a new adventure every single day, we have a lot of fun together. And it also decreases screen time, which we all know that battle. Well, my friends, search for me, Mr. Jim, or Kid Short Stories. So listen to Kid Short Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Are you guys ready for today's adventure? Me too. Let's go.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
The only place you're going to find 3 10-foot screens with games on full volume in 3 separate rooms, all in the same bar.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
With dozens more big screens. You'll find every game you're looking for only at Duke's, because there's only one Duke's. Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, darts, karaoke and trivia nights. 3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where Dukes? Miller and McDowell. Scottsdale.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Raffy Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Let's to game 1 of today's doubleheader versus the Braves. The D-backs are looking for New York to beat Atlanta once more in game 2 in order to get a postseason spot. The Suns will pay tribute to late broadcasting legend Al McCoy this season with a jersey band that players will wear with the word Al on it. McCoy died September 21st at 91. Fox Sports 910, once again, your home for Sun Devil hockey this season. They're 4 days away from opening things up against Air Force on the road. The Cardinals starting preparations for Week 5 against the Niners. They return to the practice field on Wednesday. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword WIN at foxsports910.com. That's WIN at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Monday night, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the low 80s. And then for your Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, temperatures right around 111 degrees. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The new Luxe Cravings Box from Taco Bell. For $7, indulge in a Chicken Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, and Doritos Locos Taco, plus chips and a drink. Get yours at Taco Bell for a limited time while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 9.
Your life?
Out here at the Trophy Bar, downtown Ocotillo, watching the Mets and the A's. Jeez, I am off today. The Atlanta Braves. I keep calling the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Atlanta Braves. Now I'm calling the Atlanta Braves the Athletics.
Hey, we got you, Rock. We got you.
I do not think you guys have me. You listen to Fridays at 3:15. It's all you guys.
Well, we corrected you on one of them.
Well, we create content.
Yes, we help that. But just kind of give you an idea, there's Atlanta's up 1-0. They're in the 5th inning, top of the 5th. Mets do have a couple guys on base. The goal here is for them to score. If they score, get some runs, because you need the Mets to win for the Diamondbacks to open up the playoffs tomorrow in Milwaukee.
You know
so
what?
Keeping our fingers crossed.
You know what I find interesting here is the Mets easily could have sat a lot of guys, but they didn't. I mean, their guys are playing. The Polar Bears in there. Lindor's in the lineup. I mean, all the guys that pretty much played game one are on the field right now for game two.
I wonder why. Why would you do that? Don't you want rest is king? I mean, don't you need rest going into the playoffs?
Well, especially when they're going to play.
If you're a Met fan, wouldn't you want Lindor and these guys to be on the bench?
Yeah, you would think. I mean, I think that they want to go out there, and I think you looked at that earlier, the discussion about who's going to play, who's not going to play. They would go deep into their bench. There's a lot of guys, but I think it's just, hey, let's just play it out. And if we win it, we win it. Again, it's all about momentum. Going into the playoffs, which start tomorrow. So if the D-backs, if the D-backs do sneak in the back door, they're leaving for a plane tonight to go ahead to Milwaukee. And then you'd see the Mets move on to wherever. I think they go to San Diego.
They go to the Padres.
Yeah, that gets going.
Do you think the plane's all gassed up, ready to go?
Oh, absolutely it is. You better believe it. They are ready to go.
Yeah, when did they determine that? I mean, are they all sitting at the clubhouse right now
Probably.
watching this collectively?
Yeah.
And then the bus is ready.
Yep.
Everything is just, let's go. The clubby's got everything going for them. The traveling secretary's got everything ready for them. The hotel in Milwaukee's ready. I mean, they're set.
Does the hotel get a refundable if they don't make it there?
Well,
it 24 hours.
It could be the same. It could be the same hotel that houses all the teams.
Yeah,
yeah. So whoever, if it's the Mets going there, they're still covered.
Hey, our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question today. Are you seeing any progress in the Cardinals under second-year head coach Jonathan Gannon? Yes, no, or it's still too early. Those are your three choices. You can check it out on our Twitter page, X page, at Roc and Manuch. Check it out for yourself. Where's it at right now, Manuch?
Right now, as I pull it up, it looks as last time I looked, it was even. So right now,
even?
Yeah, no.
How can anybody say there's progress?
Well, say no is at 37.5%, and still too early is at 37.5%. Yes is at 25%. So 25% are not seeing progress. So
that's unbelievable. Who's voting here?
I voted no. I vote they're not seeing. I'm not seeing the
no
progress.
It's the same old Cardinals right
now,
right?
You're split. 37.5% is both. It's still too early, and at 37.5% say no. Yes is down. So if those true diehard fans felt that progress is making, you might see that yes higher, but it's the lowest at 25%.
What did everybody do after they pounded the Rams? Everybody, oh my God, this team. What did we talk about? The Rams are depleted.
Yeah,
half of their team didn't even play, and we caution people, don't get too excited.
Well, Jimmy, we said they took care of business. They did it. Yeah,
they beat
it wasn't
team that they should.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That is correct.
It wasn't a new epiphany that they all of a sudden got good. We just realized they were down. They took care of business, and that's all it was. So now when you took on two teams, Detroit.
Yep.
And the Commanders, who are probably the surprise of the National Football League,
I'd agree with
what they're doing with Jaden Daniels, those are some things you look at. And I think what we're seeing is, okay, if this is the new, you're 1-3 now, guys. Okay, you were 4-13 last year. You're now 5-21 after 21 games. Is that progress? Is that okay? Well, Kyler this and Kyler that. Okay, but did you do any measurements to help the run defense? No. This run defense is still a sieve. Your corners, whatever, they're okay. But you thought that this receiving core, you thought you'd get more production out of your stud, Marvin Harrison Jr. or Wilson, and Trey McBride's out. I think he was a big piece of this team. But then again, when I watch Kyler Murray, I watch him from the end zone shots and some of the other shots under center. I'm just not seeing the production or the going to the ball with his experience, knowing this offense, that I thought we really would. I mean, the coordinators, as far as I've seen, are getting embarrassed or schooled. They're not making the adjustments. And I know I keep saying that. But I mean, yesterday, all of a sudden, here comes Kyle Allen.
Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury.
And his offense?
Same exact thing. And I didn't see, where was the adjustment? Where were the blitzes? Where was the keeping Jaden Daniels inside? Where was some more press coverages? I mean, running a zone on a touchdown pass or a 2-point conversion, Zach Ertz on the back, a zone on the 2-point conversion.
He's wide open.
So I think Cliff had a little fun getting some shots at his former team, the way he handled a lot of the calls.
And if you break this down, what an opportunity Arizona had to win at home. You got a team that came off a short week, a rookie quarterback who's obviously just everyone's talking about
beyond
today.
his years.
Yep.
Yeah.
A defense that was ranked in the bottom in so many categories, and a Cardinal team that's been sleeping in their own bed for 3 straight weeks.
It's a good point.
This was the opportunity.
Sure, good
this
point.
was an
Yeah.
opportunity. You should have won this game. And it's one thing to lose it maybe on a last-second field goal, but to get embarrassed like you did.
Yes.
I don't know how you recover. And when you got to look ahead with this next 4 games, 3 of them on the road, San Diego, Green Bay, and Miami, then you sandwich in a home game against the LA Chargers, which is the Monday night game on ESPN+. By the way, we will be at the DraftKings at TPC for that game. All the rest of the Mondays will be here at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo. But just an overall bad performance by everybody. For the Birds not being able to move the ball at all. I mean, the defense had nothing to stop
But
Kingsbury.
here's the pattern.
Nothing.
Them going down and scoring. All right, you feel pretty jacked up.
Yeah.
They come right back down and score again. So it's 7-7. Next thing you know, it's 17-7 at halftime. But it's then you allow you all of a sudden you kind of get one. You don't get one touch. You don't get one touchdown in the second half. Again, where are the adjustments? Where are the things that you should see that you should be able to take advantage of? And on top of that, when you need to make stops in the fourth quarter, they score 15 points in the fourth quarter. All right, if you're going to rely on this defense, which a lot of us thought, okay, look, they've made some moves. They've set some free agents. You got a couple of guys out. There was virtually, you saw Jaden Daniels back there, 1,004, 1,005. And then for allowing him, Jimmy, you talk about the spy or whatever. They don't typically do that, but they make them aware. And what I was saying is the defensive ends or the stunts they had were not keeping him to the inside.
Right.
They would
let him get outside
exactly
all the time.
And he either runs or
Yeah.
throws the ball for 10 yards.
So I want to ask you, Manuch, as you train these quarterbacks, for those you don't know, Manuch trains quarterbacks. Brock Purdy is one of his students who's had a little bit of success.
Not
at the
bad.
next level. So, they're talking about the prototypical quarterback now, and they're saying Jaden Daniels and Stroud, right? There's the two. That he was the flavor last year, and right now it's Jaden.
And before that was Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, okay.
Jalen Hurts before
So
that.
who's not playing well right now, by the way, for the Eagles. So are you having dads come to you and say, hey, I want my son to be like a Jaden Daniels or a Jaden or a Jalen Hurts or whomever?
Sure. All about that.
So how do you train these kids knowing that that's what it's a copycat league, right? So everybody's going to try to get these quarterbacks in college. I mean, we're starting to see that in college. Some of these quarterbacks are all the same way. The ones that are having success.
It's funny. I mean, I'll go back to when Bryce Perkins is in 9th grade, who's this phenomenal athlete, and they looked at him, well, if he could just learn to throw, to have him go over there to Chandler and become one of the first dual threat major quarterbacks in high school football here. So he goes on to ASU, didn't work out there, goes to Virginia, goes to Virginia and plays there. He's that dual threat guy, which all of a sudden there's this new fad, if you will. So that's probably 8-9 years ago. But to your point, Rock, there's a lot of kids. The dads are seeing that their son is this phenomenal athlete and he can throw a little bit. Hey, coach, would you take him on? And we need the best athlete at quarterback. He throws a little bit, but he can run. He can do this, he can do that. So next thing you know, you get a guy trained up. He's 3-4 years later. All of a sudden, this kid can throw. He can run. And you see that as one of the marquee scenarios in the National Football League. Now, you look at Brock Purdy, who's got great escapability.
He does.
He's quick enough when he has to be. I mean, you watched him yesterday and went, wow. But as long as they know how to get the ball where it needs to be, or when they move, they still ask their very mobile quarterbacks. And you saw this with Jaden Daniels yesterday. When they move, they keep their head up. They look to throw. Kyler Murray's doing a better job of keeping his head up and looking to throw the ball down the field. But there's that you can't be that. What they want him to be is that really good quarterback happens to be a good athlete versus, well, he's a good athlete and he's decent quarterback. They want a quarterback that's a good athlete, and that's why they want to be trained the way they want to be trained.
Hey, your chance to win $9,100 is tonight here at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo. 20 lucky contestants at halftime at the second game. We'll have a chance to roll the dice to win some prizes, the grand prize being $9,100 if you can roll Fox 910. Also, big screen TV if you can roll Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B or the Fox Sports logo. So that's all here at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo. Rudy Carpenter talks quarterbacks next as we continue on. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
New accident on 10 westbound near Queen Creek Road on the right shoulder. Another one in downtown Phoenix, westbound 10, just before 7th Avenue off right. And a crash on the Red Mountain 202 westbound near 32nd Street off right.
This report is sponsored by Piedmont Airlines.
Ready to soar to new heights? Piedmont Airlines, a wholly owned subsidiary of American Airlines, is hiring ground handling crew at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. No experience necessary. Enjoy competitive pay, high-quality health insurance, and free travel. Visit Piedmont-Airlines.com.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group's Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Rago. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at Venezias.com. That's Venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Year after year, Lerner Rowe is voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. You may wonder why. The answer is quite simple. Lerner Rowe is so popular because we give every client excellent service and a superior experience. But also the main reason is results. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients with over $1 billion collected in the last 5 years alone. Our phone lines are always open and our legal team is standing by right now, waiting for your call.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hello, parents. It's Mr. Jim, and I want to invite your kids to listen to Kids Short Stories. You see, kids all around the world listen to Kids Short Stories and send in their ideas. And every single day, I create a brand new story about them finding treasure, stopping the bad guy, or flying on a unicorn. If you're looking to cut down on screen time, search for Mr. Jim. So listen to Kids Short Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
The Mets took game one of today's doubleheader versus the Braves. The D-backs are looking for New York to win game two. The Suns will pay tribute to late broadcasting legend Al McCoy this season with a jersey band that players will wear with the word Al. McCoy died September 21st at 91. Basketball Hall of Fame center Dikembe Mutombo has died from brain cancer. He was 58. The four-time Defensive Player of the Year played for 6 teams in an 18-year career. I'm Frank Aaron.
The NFL season is underway. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus. Arizona only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at bkng.co/ftball.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time. Steps up. Looks end zone. Got a man. McGahee. Touchdown. And Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
Rudy Carpenter now at Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Rudy, you think it's safe to say we can stop with the Kyler Murray MVP talk at this point? Because there was some talk of that maybe early on this season with that perfect rating that 1 week. But where do you think he is right now?
I mean, I never one time said that Kyler Murray was going to be in the race for the MVP trophy. And unfortunately, I feel like every time I come on the radio or any other appearances that I do talking about the Cardinals, I feel like it's really a broken record in the sense that I think Kyler is a good Kyler Murray could be a great football player. But again, I just don't think that he's ever going to be able to achieve that status or reach his full potential with the cast of characters that he has around him. In order for him to reach his full potential, he needs more. And I think a really, really good example of that is the quote-unquote resurgence from Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold has always been a good player. I think there was a reason why Sam Darnold was the third overall pick in the draft. But the truth of the matter is Sam Darnold, throughout his entire time playing so far in the NFL, hasn't been on a team where he's had enough guys around him to be the player that he can be. And he finally has that. And he's in an organization that can support him. And it's like magic.
You know, Rudy, and we had talked about if he is going to be successful at being Kyler Murray, he needs all hands on deck. He needs the offensive line healthy. They're a little banged up. But the one thing I don't see from this offense, even when I don't see rhythm and tempo. I mean, they're 5 for 20 last two games in third down conversions. They have a good drive and they don't. I don't see the consistency or rhythm and tempo that I would think I'd see after 4 or 5 games, with this team. Now you look at him and after 4 games, I don't know if you see it or you don't see it, or maybe that is because he doesn't have the horses around him.
Well, not only that, but again, I would ask you the same question that I asked last week, right before we hung up. What is the identity of this football team?
Yep.
Last night's a great example. When you watch the Baltimore Ravens play football, you know what the identity of the Baltimore Ravens is going to be. When you watch the Kansas City Chiefs play football, you know what their identity is going to be and who they are. When you watch the Arizona Cardinals play football, we don't know what they are. We don't know who they want to be. I don't think that they do. I think that they put a game plan together every week. I think their coach really hard to put them in a position to succeed. And I think their coaches try to find ways to create the best matchups that they can create with the guys that they have. And then it comes down to whether or not those guys can win. Can our offensive linemen block these guys on the defensive side? Can our tight ends get open against these guys? Can our wide receivers, not only get open, but can they win the one-on-one 50-50 contested balls when they're thrown their way? And, I mean, look, think about this. Just think about the Alabama-Georgia game this weekend. It wasn't like there was any complex things going on. You know what you saw a lot of? You saw a lot of wide receivers making great plays with one-on-one contested catches on both teams. And at the end, you saw Brian Williams make a great catch, make 2 guys miss, run down for a touchdown. And then you saw their defensive back turn around and make a great interception that was one-on-one. That has nothing to do with scheme and everything to do with those players. The Arizona Cardinals, they don't have those guys outside of Marvin Harrison, and they can't consistently win those matchups, which is why what you said earlier happens, which is why they're so inconsistent. Sometimes they look good, sometimes they don't.
Rudy Carpenter's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, are we looking now at Jaden Daniels the same way that we started to look at C.J. Stroud last year in his rookie season for Houston? Is Daniels, in your estimation, that good, that quick?
I mean, he's been playing really good, right? And one of the things I have to give, the Washington Commanders and give that coaching staff a lot of credit for is they're doing their very best to run an offensive scheme that fits Jaden Daniels and fits what Jaden Daniels can do. Again, I think the Cardinals had the right idea with Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray in the sense of, hey, we're gonna draft a quarterback and then we're gonna have a coach come in here and run a scheme that this quarterback likes and that he's comfortable with and that fits him. And then all of a sudden they go, Monty as their GM and Gannon as the head coach, and they went right back to the old school way that all the other NFL teams have been doing for decades, which is, we're going to go hire the coach that we want, and he's going to run the scheme that he wants, and we're not gonna dial up a scheme that's specifically made for Kyler. Whereas you look at the Commanders, and that's what they did. They knew they were going to draft a guy like Jaden Daniels. So the idea was to go hire an offensive coach that was going to be able to put that quarterback in the absolute best position to succeed. That's why the week before with the Bengals or whoever they played, you had heard the Bengals saying, oh, this is a high school college offense. They don't do anything spectacular. They don't need to. They call concepts that Jaden Daniels likes. They call concepts that he can execute. They call concepts that he understands. And when they don't work out, they trust him to make a play with his feet. And that's what he does. And then when nothing is there, he gets down or he throws the ball away. And that's when he plays like that, they don't need him to do much more than that.
I think even with that, Rudy, the adjustments on the defensive side could not adjust to Cliff Kingsbury's play calling. I agree with you. I thought he did a great job of playing to the strengths of one Jaden Daniels with all the things. And it wasn't real complicated, but they pounded the ball. They threw for they rushed for over 216 yards, which I think helped that. But I think that it was the throws and the things they did were, call it high school, call it college, were very effective. And on top of that, you had Rawlis, the defensive coordinator, could not adjust to it. And they just went up and down the field.
Again, like I said, what the identity of the Commanders is going to be, right? I mean, we know what that's going to be. They make it very simple for Jaden. And because it's simple, it allows him to play fast. It allows him to play confident. And because he's playing fast and confident, it allows him to be accurate. It allows him to play with great anticipation. It allows him to play with great timing. It allows him to, when he's very accurate, which means the wideouts can now maximize their yards after catch, because they're not having to make circus catches. And then when teams want to, try to mix it up and pressure Jaden or play man to man, if he makes one guy miss, he's all of a sudden out the gate running the football. And to me, there aren't many things more demoralizing when you're able to shut a team down and then the quarterback takes off and runs for a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 7, whatever it is, and gets the first down. That's very frustrating. And that's what he's been doing. Jaden's good enough to where if you're going to sit back and try to play zone coverage like they did on that touchdown in the back of the end zone, they just ran a basic double post concept. He's going to be able to read that out, throw an accurate ball. And, that's what happens when, you have an identity and you know what you're trying to get accomplished on the opposite side of the ball.
If this was 5 years ago, would you expect to see us out of Jaden Daniels? You knew him coming out of high school, and then when he got to ASU, I mean, his growth has been exponentially huge, I think, the last 2 years. But did you see this in this young man, this kind of potential?
I don't know. I no offense. I know that's like a fun, sexy question to answer, and I know these guys like to get up there. Oh, I knew it way back in the day. I saw that when he was 4. It's like, yeah, sounds good, bud. I mean, look, what I really think is that Jaden and his family did a really good job in the sense that from the moment that he was getting out of high school, they as a family basically said, hey, look, we think this kid has NFL potential. We believe that it's very, very important for us that he is going to develop like an NFL player. And because he took that route and he came and played for NFL coaches in the NFL style, whatever. But what I think really happened is Jaden has played a lot of football. And I think that's really important. He played a lot as a true freshman at ASU and as a sophomore. And then when he left, he went and played in another scheme against really good talent in the SEC at LSU. And so he's played a lot of football, different schemes. He's seen a lot of different defenses. He's played in incredible environments with a lot of pressure. So I think when you're talking about is a guy ready to play for the NFL, but he is a guy that had a lot of experience. And I'm just somebody who thinks that you can practice all you want. You can hire the best quarterback coach in America all you want. You can do as many drills as you want. But in my viewpoint, really the only way you're going to get better playing quarterback is to play quarterback in games. And he's done a lot of that. So I just think that's, one of the main reasons why he's having success.
He's Rudy Carpenter. Rudy, as always, thank you for some time on a Monday. We always appreciate you.
All right, guys.
You got it. Rudy Carpenter joining us, brought to you today by All City Towing. Join the team at the largest towing company in the state. That's All City Towing, and they are hiring. They got dispatcher jobs, call takers, lot attendants, drivers. The list goes on and on. And if you are ready to take your career to the next level, then visit them online at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. Well, coming up, we're going to talk to Frank Sanders next, get his thoughts on the Cardinals' loss to the Commanders, as well as look ahead to San Francisco. Frank Sanders next on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The Cardinals are beginning preparations for Week 5 against the 49ers. They return to the practice field on Wednesday. The Mets took Game 1 of today's doubleheader against the Braves. The D-backs are looking for New York to beat Atlanta once more in Game 2 in order to get a postseason spot. The Suns will pay tribute to late broadcasting legend Al McCoy this season with a jersey band that players will wear with the word Al on it. McCoy died September 21st at 91 years old. And Sun Devil hockey hits the ice in 4 days for their season opener when they take on Air Force on the road. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Monday night, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the low 80s. And then for your Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, temperatures right around 111 degrees. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract and full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at ExpressPros.com. That's ExpressPros.com.
Got a burning urge to pick games each week? Sign up now for Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Win weekly Twin Peaks fan cards and season-long prizes, including $5,000 cash. Visit fanpick'em.com.
Feeling like your garage door issues are a real game changer? Don't fumble with overpriced repairs. Get Lifted High Garage Door Repair in your playbook. When it comes to garage doors, don't get sacked by delays or high costs. Lifted High Garage Door Repair swoops in to save the day. Put Lifted High Garage Door Repair on your roster and score big with top-notch service that won't break the bank. Call 480-270-1639. Great prices, quality parts, unmatched service.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch football with fellow Ohioans in Phoenix? It's Upper Crust Pizza and Wine Bar. Enjoy great pizza, cold drinks, and cheer them on all season long at Upper Crust. Located at the 101 and Cave Creek Road.
Are you sick of fad diets or tired of overpaying for name brand weight loss meds? Semaglutide and tirzepatide, now available at Metier Clinical Services. These injectables are revolutionizing weight loss, starting at just $275 per month. Transform your health today, whether in Arcadia or online at metierpharmacy.com. Our expert team supports you every step of the way. Ready to take control? Contact Metier Clinical Services at 602-835-2675. Visit metierclinicalservices.com. Consult your healthcare provider before starting any weight loss program.
Hello, parents. It's Mr. Jim, and I want to invite your kids to listen to Kids Short Stories.
Frank is not answering.
All around the world, listen to Kids Short Stories.
Frank hasn't answered. He goes to voicemail.
Every single day, I create a brand new story about them finding treasure, stopping the bad guy, or flying on a unicorn. If you're looking to cut down on screen time, search for Mr. Jim. So listen to Kids Short Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. The Chicago Sky of the WNBA have fired head coach Teresa Weatherspoon after just one season with the team. Weatherspoon, a legendary player in the league, was hired in October
No answer. We go live in
2023
30.
and led a
What do you
young
want to do?
rebuilding Sky team to a 13-27 record. The team was in playoff position for much of the second half of the season before losing star rookie Angel Reese to a wrist injury. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
He's looking. He's throwing for the end zone. Fingertip grab. Yeah, it's a Cardinal touchdown to Marvin Harrison Jr.
You're live.
Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B out here at the Trophy Bar.
Excellent grab from the rookie.
Try that again. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B at the Trophy Bar. Hate when I say, hey, we're live, and I'm talking over the sound. It's terrible. Bad radio. You learned that, right, in Radio 101, Jimmy?
Actually, I learned it in kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Yes. Wow.
He's ready?
He went way
back
back.
in the 40s. Yes.
Actually, it was 1938.
38.
Yes.
Frank Sanders joins us now, coming off a disappointing golf outing with him last Thursday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
it was disappointing.
So who sucked the most?
I don't think anybody did. We just didn't know we could buy mulligans. And if we would have bought mulligans, we would have won.
Why would you need them? You got such an outstanding group.
We did, right? Right, Frank? We had a good time out there.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was great to play with Roc. I do want to say this to Roc. Who did the guy describe as the best dresser?
Yeah, Frank got that.
He got an award?
He got the best
Yeah,
dressed,
no, he
okay.
didn't get an award. He got a pat on the back.
Oh.
Yeah, there was the organizers. They were driving around and they saw Frank and they stopped him and they said, "Hey, by the way, you're our best dressed."
Frank
and
was
and
stylish.
then his head got big, But then he made a big putt after that, so it worked out.
Hey, do y'all hear Roc? Do y'all hear how solemn Roc sounds like he's trying to give out like this little crappy award?
Well, the thing was, we found out we were in the running, right? You see it on the app, all right? We're going to be top 3. Okay. Most golf tournaments, there's a first, second, and third prize.
Not this one.
So we sat around that's why I was an hour and a half late for the show.
I remember.
Because I'm like sitting there, I'm like, all right, we're going to be, we're going to have to get up, get our picture taken.
Sure.
We're going to win something.
Get something.
Sure enough, it was just in second place, Frank Sanders, Mike Morongo, and they just clapped, and that was it. We didn't have to get up and get anything, right?
Yeah, we didn't get anything. There, man, didn't get anything. Tournament was good calls. It was hot. But we played good, man. Unfortunately, like Roc said, we got out mulliganed, and it just didn't go our way. Really did.
One last thing, and I've never seen this. He did a VJ Singh.
What?
He did a VJ Singh.
Which is?
He hit balls after we got done playing.
Wow.
That's what
Who in the right mind,
Yeah.
after a golf tournament where it's 110 degrees, 6-hour round, gets done, he's in jeans or slacks, and hits balls. He banged out about 5 buckets of balls after it got done.
It's a committed golfer right there, Roc.
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, I did. I played much better the next day at the AYFL golf tournament, man, charity event. So I played much better there. It's just sometimes, you're playing the scrambles, and most of the guys will know that you try to do a lot more than you should. You said the same thing, Roc, while you was out playing. I'm just doing too much, and you didn't really play. You don't play your best golf sometimes because you're trying to do too much.
Yeah.
But I need to hit some balls, and I worked it out.
All right. Did you ever use since it was a scramble, did you ever use one of Roc's golf shots?
Oh, we used multiple of Roc's golf shots, and his
Wow.
putting was pretty on point.
Wow.
So the check did clear, huh, Frank? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, bud. All right, let's get to some football talk.
Please.
I know earlier in the season you said 9 wins. You still sticking to 9 wins?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm sticking to 9 wins until proven otherwise. But I will say this here, though. I was at the stadium, and I will say this here. The effect of having a new quarterback that seems to be, up-and-coming talent, you can see the difference in the excitement of the Washington Commanders fans versus the Cardinals fans. The Commanders had a fan base that was at the stadium. They were cheering on, and the Commanders themselves, it just looked like they played with a little bit more extra oomph than the Cardinals had. I heard Tyler say it seemed like the team hit a wall after scoring the first touchdown, and it looked that way. But the Commanders kept the pressure on. They kept putting it, kept being physical in the running game, not making many mistakes on defense, and it just, it looked like they just had a little bit more something than the Cardinals did at the stadium.
Why? Why should it's a home game? You're the team right now, the up-and-comers of the Commanders, And here you are, you lost to Detroit. You've got to get things back on track. And you're right. This Cardinal team, after that first drive, they look listless. I just want, why, Frank? Why is this team a front-running team in these losses?
It's the part about that is it's crazy to kind of describe. But I will say that when you're playing, typically you always say, Cliff Kingsbury was the former coach here. Maybe the guys want to play with a little bit more extra energy. The Commanders, and you go back to Jaden Daniels, they didn't make many mistakes. They kept the drive going. So we're looking at time of possession. We're looking at, third down percentages,
Sure.
Third down efficiency, how well they kept and stayed on the field. Time of the clock just was on their side. So they had a well-planned game plan versus the Cardinals, offensively and defensively. And they came ready to play. I'm not saying that the Cardinals, they didn't, but they just got outplayed by another team that showed up with just, again, like I say, our first year when we had Kyler, it just seemed like we were getting wins and we were doing things that was just out of the ordinary. And it looks the same with Jaden Daniels, like the team over there. They got playmakers, but he's making plays and putting his team in a good position without turning the ball over.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Frank, I'm at a refreshment stand, and a guy is trying to tell me that the reason that the Cardinals got whooped was because it was a residual effect of what Detroit did to them in the last game. They just pounded them into the ground. So I'm asking you as a former player, are you buying that? Or is this guy, was he just hammered and trying to come up with an excuse?
No, he could see it, man. There's a conversation right now, and you guys have definitely worn this conversation out, and I don't know what the adjustment is in this, but the conversation is the defense on the other side knows how to contain Kyler and our offense in some mannerisms, and that has been the case. And I know the residual effect of what happened versus the Detroit Lions. Once you watch what a team does, the NFL becomes a copycat league, offensively and defensively. If they found something that is working, that the next team you play or the next 4 or 5 teams you play, they will repeat that just with their players. And I think that we saw the Commanders come out. They had a wide technique on defense. They had a spy versus Kyler on certain downs and distance. They switched off and on Marvis and Harris just to try to make sure they can confuse them. We didn't have Trey McBride, so that was the difference. But outside of that, our running game was solid. But outside of that, the playmaking wasn't there down the field. And so, therefore, it changes. There is a residual effect in the league, and I hope we figure that out and what plays that we could do to kind of change what we need to do with this offense so we can kind of be a lot more explosive and on defense, find ways that, to get out there and get teams off the field on third down.
Frank, I want to turn our attention quickly to Auburn. Does it take a cheerleader to knock out an Oklahoma player for you guys to have a shot in a game these days? What's the deal?
Whatever it takes, right, Frank?
They take a cheerleader in Hurricane Helen, and try to knock a team out of the way as bad as Auburn's playing right now. It's not good, man. It's we had a good chance. Auburn came to play. Again, that was an exciting game for about 3 quarters on the Auburn side. But Oklahoma, they just didn't quit, man. And I think that's a good indication that they're excited. The beauty of the SEC right now is that you're getting a chance to see teams that's coming out of other conferences. But there are good teams coming out of the conferences, and they're there in the SEC to fight. Oklahoma did not give up anything, and they end up coming away with the win at the end. I wish that our defense would have played and tackled as good as that cheerleader did, because we probably would have won the game handedly.
Frank, I enjoyed it. Let's do it again. That was a fun time, buddy, and thanks for jumping on again today. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys, man. You guys have a good Monday.
That's Frank Sanders joining us here, talking some Cardinal football and Auburn Tigers. If you didn't see the story, we did post it on our Twitter page, but an Auburn cheerleader accidentally destroyed an Oklahoma Sooner defensive back. The cheerleader was doing back handsprings down the field while the players were coming out of the tunnel and just walloped this guy. It's a great video. I mean, you're like, whoa! It's like, it was awesome. But, they're trying to do everything they can to win a game. But I was pretty happy about Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma. I tell you what.
Was that one of your comeback
That was the last minute on Friday bet.
Wow.
Jack said 5 starters are out at wide receiver, and the spread was only +1 Oklahoma, and I jumped on it. Every single penny I had left in my account, which is like $42.
Literally.
It was $40-something, which left me with $1 something. But I'm back. We'll see. Coming up, we'll tell you what we're doing here at the Trophy Bar, a new spot for us on Monday. So we encourage you to come on down and join us as we are out here getting ready to roll the dice for your chance at $9,100. We'll do that the second game of tonight's Monday night games as we have the Seahawks and Lions. That's the 5:15 start. 4:15. It is
Titans and Dolphins.
You got it. More Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. He's here today on Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
101 Price Freeway southbound near Broadway. We have an accident off right. Stop and go traffic from McKellips. Now I-10 westbound near State Route 347. We still have an accident off right and a crash Dobson Road at Riggs Road you need to avoid.
This report is sponsored by Citizens Clean Elections Commission. Debates may be your best chance to get to know the candidates. Don't miss Arizona's official debates. Brought to you by the Citizens Clean Elections Commission. Learn how to watch, listen, and submit a question at azcleanelections.gov/debates. And let's get democracy done.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're not just a sports bar. We're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, get ready to score big on fun and flavor. Only at BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day. Check us out online at bkdsbackyard.com. That's bkdsbackyard.com.
If you haven't tried G2G protein bars, today is the day. Find them in your local Costco's refrigerated section or online at g2gbar.com. Incredible taste and with protein. They are perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Check them out today.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $200 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bet and see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Shop Macy's VIP sale going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends from designers that rarely go on sale. And save 15% off skincare, makeup, fragrances, and more. Plus, shop fall specials for even more great deals on top brands at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
It's the Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
We're very process-driven, and I trust our process.
Good life.
But I told everyone in there, everybody's going to have to take a good hard look, point the thumb at themselves, starting with me, and we got to make some adjustments. We haven't done a good enough job stopping the run, so we're playing behind the 8 ball on defense all day, and it's a hard way to go. And give those guys credit. I mean, that's a good offense.
That's Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon. They have to be accountable.
Absolutely do. You know, I think you look at these losses that they're, the Rams game you should have won. This game yesterday should have won, but they're being outcoached.
Well, they won the Rams game.
That's what I'm saying. They should have won that Rams game.
So I disagree.
Well, the Rams.
I don't think there's any game that the Cardinals should win.
Well, let me say this. They were beat up, banged up. I think the Cardinals were healthy for that at the time.
Fair.
Rams were banged up.
Okay. But they should have won Washington.
They should have. They have been out. And the whole thing, remember, guys, coaches lose, players win. And right now, Jonathan Gannon, you want to look at his record, he's 5-21, guys. It's only been a year and a half. So there's got to be some major adjustments with his philosophy. I don't care about the culture.
Why can't they change? That's my problem that I had.
What do you mean by what would you suggest to change?
Well,
they may have the players.
I don't think they have the talent.
They don't have the talent.
Okay.
Definitely the depth they don't have, right?
Yeah, the depth, they got guys banged up. They don't have the talent. Jonathan Amani Ossenfort has got to go out and get more quality defensive linemen, more quality linebackers.
Robinson will be back this week.
Yeah,
right?
He will. I think that'll help.
Well, he's never played an NFL game.
But again, the thing is, what I'm seeing lack of adjustments to the adjustments. That these other teams are adjusting the Cardinals' offense and their defense. They're continually, second year in a row, their running defense is a sieve when you look at it.
I agree.
They're being outscored 26-24 on average the rest of the year. They were 5 for 20. The Cardinals off 5 for 20 the last 2 games in third down conversions. There lies 36-minute time of possession with Detroit and 32 yesterday by this Commanders team. They're controlling the ball, wearing the defense out. There's no options on the offensive side as far as making adjustments to getting the ball down the field. So people are figuring the copycat league, right?
Yes.
People are figuring out what they have, what they don't have. Tyler's, you had Kyler Murray get sacked 4 times yesterday. He's been sacked twice before, so they're figuring out the offensive line, which is also banged up.
So you're telling me that everybody is looking at what the Detroit Lions did defensively,
yes.
and
offensively,
and copying that.
Sure, they're looking at that, and I think that what they realized yesterday was they kept Kyler Murray in the pocket. They didn't allow him to get outside.
Right.
I mean, they sacked him a couple of times. He was chucking and ducking like no tomorrow. So it's a combination, folks. It's going to be a long year if they don't make some major adjustments here. Ain't going to get any easier. We got the San Francisco 49ers who are playing really good football right now.
But I'll predict that they do win one of those 3 on the road.
Yeah, they might.
Hail Mary, last second Prater, field goal. Yeah. Because the parity this year is just overwhelming.
It's amazing to me to see this.
Denver?
Would you expect exactly
on the road?
I know.
And that was my
Bo
lock.
Nix?
That was my lock. I'm like, are you kidding me? They shut out the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers in the second half.
Yes.
Shut them out, shut them down. And then Bo Nix with that dime he threw for a touchdown. But you're right. Tonight's
this season. Steelers finally lost a game.
Yeah. Thank you to Joe Flacco.
Yeah. And Justin Fields still looking pretty good.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
is.
looking bad.
He is. But talk about a valuable, the valuable commodity of Joe Flacco to come in and take control. Richardson gets hurt when he hurt his hip. And just some of the things you look at, make sure it's valuable, that you don't lose any sync. But you know what? He comes in, does the job. They beat the Steelers. And all of a sudden, the Colts are feeling pretty good that they're not falling behind. You get down 1-3 like the Cardinals, it's tough to come out of that hole, you guys. 1-3. And on top of that, then you got the Minnesota Vikings. Who thought at 4-0 to come back and win that football game?
They just pasted Green Bay. Unbelievable.
But I tell you what Jordan Love would have come back of numbers he had, even though he didn't win the game. There's some big numbers at that team.
And I think we're seeing the Ravens team that I think we were hoping to see.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about Derrick Henry? Where's he been? He busted out last night, which
that was
nice.
Vintage Derrick Henry from his time in
Tennessee.
That was
Josh Allen just needs some help. He needs a wide receiver.
Well, wait a minute. Everybody was saying that, at least they were saying in Buffalo, oh, this is the year. We're going to roll teams. Yeah, right.
I never heard that. You
Never
said
heard that.
I haven't heard that. You said that. I think you're misremembering from last year.
Manuch, you can't talk. You do that all the time, too.
No,
You do that all the time.
Yeah, you do, Manuch.
You do that all the time.
But I've got something to back it up there.
I was just saying Jimmy doesn't have something to back it up.
I was just saying that looking at the websites for the Buffalo Bills, they thought they were going to go in and roll Baltimore.
And for the record,
they really did.
Jax, I've always got something to back it up. So
I disagree.
Always.
No.
Thank you, Rock. Thank you, Rock.
I'm with you on this one, Jack.
Challenge me, and I'll throw it at you.
We all misremember a lot since we've all turned it 55 plus.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Nicest
So
thing you ever said to
AARP
me.
card works. What days that work? On Wednesdays you get 10% off somewhere?
Safeway. Safeway Senior Day.
So how does an AARP card work?
You show your
I don't have
if you're
one.
over 50.
How do you not have one?
I don't have one.
You don't need one. You're so loaded.
If you're over 55, you show your license, you get 10% off on your groceries. Fact.
But that's not AARP.
No, you show your license. AARP's got all kinds of benefits, traveling, hotels.
Give me one.
You go to hotels wherever, and they'll give you a discount, like AAA.
Yeah, it's
they'll
like
give you
I have a
discount.
AAA card. All right.
AARP, they'll give you discounts from there.
I'd be embarrassed to use it.
Not me. When you're looking for a discount.
When you're 56 looking like you're 40, I can't use
well,
it.
you know what? It's anytime you save a buck, you save a buck.
No, I hear you. By the way, the Mets are down by a couple in the 8th inning. So it's not looking good for the D-backs as they need the Mets to win this game. Of course, if you're just joining us, the Mets won the first one. So we needed the Mets to sweep. If the Mets would have swept the Atlanta Braves, then the D-backs would have been in, and they'd be on an airplane in about an hour to Milwaukee.
It's not over yet.
Still got another inning.
Not over yet. Stranger things have happened for this team. That is definitely for sure. When you look at
Tomorrow, we will be out at the iHeartRadio studios, right?
Correct, yes. The lovely iHeartRadio
Kyle
studios.
Vandenbosch will join us.
Yeah.
Kevin Turner, sideline reporter for the Sun Devils, and then Bobby Mack. See what he's found out today with the presser and talking to all the players. What the hell's going on?
When you have him on,
ask
him about his Air Jordans.
Okay.
With Bobby Max?
He's got a pair of Air. You don't read the paper? Big story yesterday.
I did
Sunday
not see
paper.
it. Didn't see Sunday's
He's
paper.
got a pair of Air Jordans that he lost, brand new, somewhere. He can't find them. They're worth thousands of dollars. Ask about that tomorrow.
I will ask Bobby.
By the way, I just started getting the paper delivered to me again.
I missed that.
So I get
missed the
delivered. So I
paper.
get delivered on Friday or Thursday. First day back, it's
Yeah.
like $1. It's so cheap, right? I'm like, I'll help him out, right? Next day doesn't come. I'm like, but then it came the next day, But I'm like, come on, you give him a chance, and it's like, but I tell you, I missed the newspaper.
I missed the newspaper too.
I was
you
a
see
paper
everything
boy.
in the newspaper.
I was a paper
Online,
boy.
you're missing stuff, right? So anyway, we want to thank the Trophy Bar for having us. Come on out and watch the Monday night games with us tonight. We'll be giving you an opportunity to win $9,100, a big screen TV, a bunch of trophy gift cards, and some ASU football tickets. So it's already getting busy in here. Great place, the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo.